Ito, Giga Life.
Now in 5.
Kung upo muli si Mr. Fundamental.
Again, sobrang weird kasi he's been having a lot of success. At the same time, you can tell that Smart Omega, they're trying to think of something new.
Yeah.
They're trying to come up with something new here that they can throw to the enemy.
Ako, season 5 pa nila ginagawa to. Season 6 pa nila ginagawa. Pero siguro sobrang sanay. Parang nanibago lang talaga to the point na hindi nila na nagagawa yung mga movements. Kasi iba yung call ng tao kapag siya yung laging gumagawa ng role.
Let's hope that this time around they have it all figured out. It has been a new week. Kilala natin ang kanilang mga kalaban, still undefeated. This is Blacklist International.
And the team that has been undefeated so far in the MPL, Blacklist International. Wala pang nakakabasag. No one's been able to break the code yet, Manjing.
Hirap.
I think the key here is to never give up, diba? Sabi nga ni John Cena, you can't see me, but just the same, never give up. That seems to be the key here. And just last week, kamuti ka na ng Workoster Force. I think Workoster Force came really close. It just came down to veteran instincts. And again, magaling mag-punish ang Blacklist International. Speaking of which, here is their team lineup. Let's see who's going to be starting out in this matchup. Eson, Edward, Oheb, Oh My Venus, and Wise. It's the classic.
Yeah, classic to. Actually, kaya ko rin ginawa yung John Cena post kasi gusto ko i-highlight dito si Oheb. Na yun yung naging post niya doon sa intro nila. And man, hindi mo talaga siya nakikita kasi nag-start yung season na wala sa radar yung Blacklist International. Ako, gusto ko lang point out dito na seeing them from season 5 ngayon na season 7, laging week 1 to week 4 ang lakas nila. Ngayon, i-bring up ko ulit. Ito na ba? Matatapos na ba yung curse ng week 4 ng Blacklist International? Kasi yung word, kamuntikan eh. Kamuntikan talaga. Parang nabasa yung code eh, di ba?
Yeah, I think sobrang underrated as well ni Oheb talaga that he gets left out in the draft. He should have focus ban. It's always Venus. It's always Wise.
Yeah.
Pero pag nababayaan si Oheb, literal, you can't see him, pero he's gonna go for you.
Ooh, looking forward to how Omega might make the most of what they've learned in the past weeks to take down Blacklist here. This is the first time they're meeting up. And real quick, let's go ahead and check out what the team head-to-head looks like. Brought to you by Oppo A94. Experience gaming at full speed with Oppo A94. Get yours now for only 13,999 pesos. Facing another challenge. It seems like Blacklist International, their main challenge is to stay undefeated.
Yeah.
Defeat the curse. Because I personally don't believe in the curse. This is a brand new Blacklist.
Yeah.
And just the same for Omega. There's more than just one thing. Ang dami nilang kailangan ayusin internally, and this time, sila pa ang naatasan na bigyan ng unang talo ang Blacklist.
Actually, gusto ko lang i-remind sa ating lahat na nung season 6, ganito din yung ginawa ng Omega sa Bren Esports. Let's see kung yung Bren Esports noon may streak din, hindi rin natatalo, pero Omega lang yung pinakaunang nakatalo. So, baka ito yung story ngayon para sa side ng Omega. Baka sila talaga yung ano ba, the streak breakers?
The combo breakers.
The combo breakers?
History repeating itself? We'll see. But right now, let's check out the comparison first when it comes down to the numbers. Rockhart, it looks like Blacklist International, KDA through the roof. Again, lahat sila malinis maglaro. But if there is something we're gonna notice here is that ito, very, very not Blacklist to eh. Mas madami hero yung Omega.
Yes. So this sila yung naging mas experimental, and like you said, hindi na sila yung, wala na silang like identity na Pag si Kenji, pumasok yan, Angela yan. Wala nang ganun eh. They're swapping out, and so far hit and miss. That's the thing about Omega. And I want to see them work on this. Maybe they can bring out something new this week.
Sila lang yung nagbe-Beatrix. Nung lumabas yung hero. Sila lang. Marami nagsabi, hindi yan magagamit kasi ang tagal nung reload time. Pero sabi ni Toshi, hindi marksman ako
Hindi eh.
Oo eh.
Ito eh.
Kaya ako gamitin eh.
Let's go ahead and check out who the key players are in this matchup, and we're going to put them head to head and shoulders. They're going to try to get each other above the competition. Put your game face on and finally say goodbye to those awkward #HGG moments. Thanks, Head and Shoulders. 100% dandruff-free and itch-free. Now, mas pinabango pa for Omega Esports. It's Hajizi, Kenji, and Toshi.
There you go. Kakasabi ko lang, Kenji again. El Capitan, back at it again. And Toshi, 50% yung Beatrix dahil lang yun sa kanya. Siya lang yun.
Siya lang naman
50% one win, one loss. Will we see another one? Yun ang tanong.
Ang tanong ko dito, open kaya nila yung code na ginawa ng work eh. Kasi yung work, parang kumuha din sila ng mga nice one baby picks eh. Which is hindi malayo na gawin ng Omega. Kasi nga nabanggit mo, nag-a-Angela sila dito. So dati pa lang, alam na nila kung paano laruin yun. Kenji.
Ooh. Hoping to see that come into play or not. Pwede rin naman ibang strategy. Pero ito ang makakaharap nung tatlong yon. Wise, Oh My Venus, and Oheb joining the duo for Blacklist International.
Ang masasabi ko lang talaga, meta ni Venus itong tournament natin na to ngayon. Yung mga supports na yan, the Matilda, the Estes, yung Popol and Kupa. And na-perfect din kasi dito ni na Oheb and ni na Wise, yung mga carries nila na talagang na-up ni Venus. Diba?
Yep, 70% kill participation. They really joined together. Kasi Venus, good luck. Good luck banning out Venus. Ang dami niyang pwede gamitin dito.
Well, given that it's a trio on both sides, let's go down and focus on two solid players from each. Ito ang kailangan natin bantayan. The featured players will do all they can para hindi mag-GG. Bring your clay game with Master. Sikreto ng mga gwapo, Toshi and Orb facing off in the gold lane.
Gusto ko to. Parehas flexible to eh. Flexi Diaz, itong dalawa na pupunta din sa Heroes, di ba?
I know, I agree. Again, Esmeralda is a powerful pick na hindi rin napapansin masyado, pero it does affect the game very much. Oheb, high win rate on the Harit, so definitely gonna be looking forward to that one in the draft.
Yep, looking forward to one of the more OG members of Omega make it up and try to break the code. Here's the lane prediction. Again, there's your head-to-head sa baba. Anything else here? Any other rivalries or potential clashes on this map that you might see? Excited ka, Manjin?
Ako excited ako kung nakapag-adjust na ba yung Omega sa kanilang switcheroo eh. Kasi they're going to be up against Eson and Venus na na-master na yung pag-aalaga, yung pag-nice one baby kay Wise.
Yes, automatic yan. Rafaela plus Estes, hatiin nyo man lang. Pero huwag yung bibigay pareho. Yun.
Delikado.
Delikado yun.
Alright, we'll see if Blacklist International will remain undefeated or if Omega will finally figure it out both internally and against their opponents. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go ahead and check out match number 2 in day 1 of week 4 of MPL Philippines. Off to our casters at the desk.
Omega na ba ang tatapos or will they be able to end the streak of Blacklist International? We're about to find out. My name is Wolf. Your anchor, kasama ko syempre si Rob Luna. Rob, MPL Philippines Season 7 is presented by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of the MPL. Free to game great with Smart. Free games for all. Man, kailangan ng smart analysis mo dito. Tingin mo ba kakayanin ng Omega ang Blacklist International?
It's gonna surprise a lot of teams, pero this is still Omega.
Government's health, practicing social distancing, wearing the mask and the face shield, sanitizing, proper hand washing, and staying at home as much as possible. Let's all do our part to stay safe and help stop the spread of COVID-19. So, you were talking about Omega? Kung paano nga ba sila nag-represent sa Philippines? Ano ba nangyaring problema? What's the problem? What do we see ngayon sa Omega so far?
So far for Omega, no? Like what I've said sa panel kanina, sila Rockhart, parang it's like a hit or miss nga, gaya ng sabi ni Rockhart. Then, parang no, they were actually chatting in terms of hero pool kanina, 35 over at 25. So that only states na they have a lot of strategies. It's just now so happen, siguro may specific din talaga tong meta na to that doesn't favor itong Omega.
Well, nakita naman natin kahit yung sa Omega, may mga times na kahit dun sa pagkatalo nila ay parang nananalo pa rin sila, di ba? May mga ganun mga moments. It's just that yung final scoreboard ay yung nire-reflect ay puro talo para sa side ng Omega. Pero nakikita mo ba ng solusyon itong para sa side ng Blacklist International? Kasi nakita natin na konti relatively yung ginagamit na heroes ng Blacklist International, pero master naman nila. So, where's the line? Paano natin masabi na may sagot ang Blacklist International?
For Blacklist, no, this was actually mentioned by Manjin kanina, no. Technically, this is a meta for Oh My Venus. We've seen him use this during like season 4 run niya with Onyx PH, yung Estes. Medyo na iba lang ngayon kasi nagkaroon ng talo that was against Work Oster Force last week. So, pero yung ganun pa rin yung yung formula dito ng side ng Blacklist International. And then if we're gonna be using Work Oster Force as a reference dito, the side lane might actually be the key para sa side dito. If ever someone would like to decode Blacklist, kasi nakita natin yon with Tremor, TC, and Kusei na sumabay talaga sila sa side lane ng Blacklist International. I'm not saying na mas individually, mas magaling yung dalawa na yon over sa kay Edward and as well with Oheb. And basically, Oheb nga ang ating player of the week kung hindi ako nagkakamali. Pero if you could be able to shut down kahit isa sa kanila, there is always a chance na pwede nyong magawa ng paraan yung trio sa gitna ng Blacklist. And the big question is Omega going to do that kind of strategy?
In fairness naman, alam natin na Omega with very valid side laners. Alam natin sobrang solid. You have Kenji, minsan din pa si Kurt TZ, but also Toshi, di ba? Naasahan naman din from before. So siguro nga, baka ito yung maging focus ng side ng Omega when it comes to dealing with Blacklist International. Nakita natin ang Blacklist International dun sa recent battle at the top. Yun nga na-mention mo, Work Oster Force. Bukod dun sa side lanes, pwede ba nating makita na i-adapt ng Omega yung parang naging strategy against Blacklist wherein okay lang na magbigay as long as may nakuha din sila na support meta. Parang ganun walang naban na nice one baby hero, di ba? At least, if I'm not mistaken, Matilda lang eventually, but technically speaking, nagbigayan So, i-adapt kaya to ng Omega when it comes to dealing against Blacklist International?
I think pwede, no? Kasi Kenji, parang kilala natin is actually using this kinds of hero, no? Like, specifically, Angela, di ba? Gamit na gawin, talagang literally taga nice one baby. Pero, ang ano kasi, no, ang nagustuhan ko doon sa naging previous na laban ng Blacklist against Oster Force is that medyo hinimay-himay nila yung banning Like, hindi sila nag-focus like kay Wise, hindi sila nag-focus just kay Oh My Venus. There's a part of Edward, there's a part of Oh My Venus and even Wise. Kumbaga, nilalaro-laro ng Work Oster Force during the drafting. And tingin ko, isa yon sa magiging susi para, kumbaga, tinitingala kasi talaga ngayon Blacklist and they were really thinking hard. Not only the teams, but also the viewers na, paano nga ba matatalo? Diba? I mean, paano nga ba matatalo ang Blacklist International?
We'll find out soon enough dahil nandito na tayo sa ating draft, Rob, and all the viewers out there who will make the smart choices in the draft. Catch it next. Brought to you by Smart, the official tournament co-partner of the MPL. Free to game great with Smart. Free games for all. And Diggy ang unang sagot ng Omega Esports.
Diggy, indeed. I think that's actually gonna be a good ban. And sabihin na natin, it's somehow general din naman, no? In terms of banning. Pero I would like to point out dito, props to Oh My Venus. I like the brightness, no? Alam mo yung, pag nakikita, I think it was called Bleeves, if I'm not mistaken, na parang, ramdam mo kagad yung aura niya, no? Parang, oh wow, sobrang mesmerizing tignan pa lang kagad. But, going to the draft dito, no? Wolf, side lane ngayon ang nagiging target ngayon dito ng Omega Esports. And I think that's a good ban din na medyo alisin I think Benedetta nga, medyo ramdam mo pag si Edward ang gumagamit.
Yeah, I want to also mention Blacklist International naman, ang kanilang focus is the Ling, which is probably this is the first time na makikita ko yung Ling the first band sa MPL Season 7. At itong Eve, what it tells me is gusto ng Blacklist International na kumuha ng Rafaela plus sa Marksman combo. Kasi usually dun yung pahirap looking at this. But Benedetta, sagot ng Omega Esports, gusto yata nila din na makunin yung Matilda or the Uranus o kaya naman yung Selena.
Yes, or they actually trying to force Blacklist International. Kasi it would be obvious since the Rafaela was open, the Estes was open, it was actually been used against Work Oster Force for all 3 games. So, yeah, this is, I think Omega Esports do have a plan if ever na yun ang gawing strategy dito ng Blacklist International. And for this final ban, kung titignan mo it's a combination of this is a courtesy and link. And I would like to know your thoughts, Wolf. Do you think mas okay if ever courtesy would going back into the side lane and we have like Haze once again, pero we're not seeing kasi
Hindi natin nakikita yun ngayon, pero feeling ko kumbaga backstage talks namin to mga kaibigan sa mga pinag-usapan natin mga casters. What if i-activate nila si courtesy sa side lanes ulit, then have Haze combo with Heath? Baka makabalik yung laro ng Omega Esports. But then again, sila magde-decide yan. Siguro, hindi natin pwedeng sabihin, ang dali para sa atin na sabihin yun.
I know.
Pero sila kasi nilalaro. But now, Matilda, the first pick for Omega Esports, is this Rafa plus Granger plus Blacklist or Joehead?
Yeah, I think ang daming open dito. Even Selena is open, but given the Granger, yes, ito yung magiging pick nila. But it's Popol and Koopa, and this is an Oh My Venus specialty hero as well.
That's right. Lagi din ginagamit to ng mga teams. Kahit sa Indonesia, ginagamit na yung Popol laban sa sustain meta. Kasi pwede ka, napakadali mong mampoke. You know where your opponents are. Ang dali din magbigay ng vision dahil dun sa traps. And overall kasi nakakainis kalaban ng isang Popol and Koopa kapag ikaw ay nandun sa healing meta.
Exactly. I mean, pwede mong i-lock on tong isang Matilda na to. Tapos given that your itemization going for an O-mask, diba? Parang mas ang hirap gumalaw. Pero now, for Omega Esports, they're still gonna go for the Alice dito. Ang usually nagiging sagot dito ng mga teams whenever they see an Alice is like the Lunox.
Lunox, definitely. But Blacklist International, pag isa pang sustain hero to, automatic back siya na kukunin nila. And with the Yi Sun-shin now picked up from Omega Esports, I think makakakita tayo ng back siya dito from Blacklist International
for sure
sa side lanes. Or siguro secure na lang din nila yung Rafaela, combo with Rafa plus Popol and Granger, isang solid din na trio sa mid lane. Instead, Harith ni Oheb.
Agree. And I was really thinking dito for Omega Esports is what's gonna be the best fit para dito sa Matilda na to. Kasi we all know that this Matilda would just simply go around and just leave had GC onto the jungle, going into level 4 and probably get a pick-up sa isang side lane dito ng side ng Blacklist International. Now, this is, so kumbaga kung nakuha nyo yung hero nyo dito, we get this Harith. And popularize talaga to. This is an Oheb hero.
The
Oheb hero. Kaya din naman, sila yung nagban ng back siya. Okay, so they might be considering the Rafael as well. Omega Esports, kailangan nilang iba niyan. Kahit sabihin natin may sagot sila, I think it's much better pag wag mo nilang ibagay yan sa side ng Blacklist International. Additionally, Rob, I like the Harith.
Your team is banned.
Sinasabi ng mga pro players na ang Harith ay lamang na ngayon sa Alice. When it comes to laning stage, late game siguro may stun yung Alice na instant against Harith, pero kung may kruha ng laban, you will always favor the Harith. That's why kinuha agad to ng Blacklist International. That's the fact na Oheb hero nga siya.
Exactly. And not only that, you mentioned kanina, the Rafaela, kumbaga it's not worth the risk na i-open pa yan kasi this might be like the post 5 or rather the tank support dito ng Blacklist International. And given, that was also gonna be the key para mas maging mabilis ang ikot dito ng Blacklist. So now, what is actually lacking ngayon dito for Omega Esports? They don't have a side lane yet na probably an XP laner, or I think etong match na to, as we've seen the first series kanina na medyo highly contested ang isang show. Meanwhile dito sa series na to, I mean the show is not even being
considered.
It's not considered. Kumbaga hindi rin siya right fit either of the two teams no?
Pwede naman siguro sa Omega Esports para may pang-catch sila sa Harith. Yun kasi yung kulang sa kanila ngayon. May initiating stun sila with Matilda, pati na rin dun sa Alice, di ba may Circling Eagle, tas may Blood O. Pero ang overall na kailangan mo is yung hard lockdown dun sa Harith, pati na rin sa Granger, which might come from a show. Blacklist, I was gonna say Barats, na magandang pick talaga para sa Blacklist International. So that is a good ban. Ano na ngayon natitira para kay Edward? I'm thinking siguro Lapu?
Exactly. Well, the Barats, to be honest, if you're on the side of Omega Esports, that's gonna be very nostalgic. I mean, that was the nail in the coffin during their match against LPE, with of course the epic comeback coming from. I mean, that was an epic comeback. I mean, the epic Benedetta play coming from BMO, but now What's gonna be it for Blacklist International, mga kaibigan?
I'm thinking Lapu-Lapu or Estes at this point para sa Blacklist International. Pero pwede kasi din nilang i-last pick yung Estes para kay Oh My Venus. So, siguro kunin nila yung Lapu-Lapu ngayon or Thamus para makalamang sila when it comes to the side lane matchup. Isang hero na pwedeng makapag-knock up. O, pwede rin namang choke yung kunin nila. So, Estes nga yung component dito ng Blacklist International. As predicted, para naman sa Omega Esports, they might be looking for an anti-heal. Siguro sila pa yung magkakalid actually.
Pwede. Parang no, ang iisipin mo, whenever there's an Estes, you already know what kind of strategy that Blacklist International is gonna do. Kumbaga, magsasama-sama sila at some point going into mid-game. So, the question is for Omega Esports, will they be able to take the early stages of the game para makakuha ng early lead against Blacklist International, or would they somehow get like a strategy na somehow work para dito sa side ng Blacklist na yung side lane nila yung tina-target?
So I think Khalid tapos Hylos siguro para sa Omega Esports instead.
Your team is
Luyi.
Busa.
I like the Luyi.
I know. I also like the Louis. Why? Because whenever you combo your rotation, kasi given nga, sinabi natin, magsasama-sama ang Blacklist. Okay, sama-sama kayo. Louis would be the best answer given na AOE pa yung necklace of Durance mo.
Tama ka dyan. Alam naman natin, ang favorite ng mga viewers natin yun, yung necklace of Durance.
Oo, that's actually ang necklace of Durance Wolf sa ngayon sa meta natin ay hindi pwedeng mawala.
Tama, hindi pwedeng mawala ang necklace of Durance ngayon. So, as predicted ulit, Lapu-Lapu ang kukunin na Blacklist International. Definitely Blacklist International comfort playstyle to. Ngayon, ang gusto ko lang nga na nakita natin kami na from Omega Esports, yung sa kanilang mid-lane duo. Looking at this, hindi na sila nag-tank whatsoever. So, Matilda yung mag-act as their tank. Technically speaking, kasi meron absorption, pero roamer pa rin para sa side ng Omega Esports. Mataas pa rin yung damage output at pag-contest. Pero yung Luyi, no? Ito yung parang sagot talaga nila
I know. Itong Luyi na to, it might actually have a good game. Medyo may lang with Luyi, no? Na medyo mabagal yung movement speed niya. And then Matilda with the guiding wind. Ang bilis ng magiging ikot nila dito. And this Hayabusa, kumbaga, siya yung parang magiging parang instant burst specifically on the sa backlane. So parang maiisip mo ngayon dito, Omega Esports, they are trying to make Blacklist International na magsama-sama sila, 'di ba? Na hindi sila pwedeng may humiwalay na isa. Then for Hayabusa, that's actually a win-win as well kasi pwede kang sumegway or umano ka lang sa isang side lane.
Ang medyo questionable dito is kulang bigla ng lockdown ngayon ang side ng Omega Esports. Although if you think about it, madami silang stuns. Pero parang wala ka nung definitely hard CC talaga pang control sa harif. So baka magkaroon tayo ng malupit na game for OHEB dito. Lalo na naka-purify na siya.
I know. Kumbaga, yung yung dash in, dash out dito, ng chrono dash ni OHEB. That was still gonna go on the mid-game pa rin naman. So, yeah, dito mga kaibigan, Blacklist Omega Esports, they have to make something happen talaga dito sa early game.
It's gonna be difficult for sure para sa side ng Omega Esports. Pero pag nakahanap sila ng magandang mga pick-offs, dahil nga naman meron kang quad shadow, meron kang shadow kill, damage, hindi mawawala yan sa side ng Omega Esports. Ang tanong, enough ba to? But Blacklist International, since ito yung comfort nila, Wise now playing the Granger, tapos meron kang pang-box out ni Eson, pati ni Oh My Venus, which by the way, nagpalit sila ngayon. Hindi naman nagpalit talaga, pero si Eson yung gagamit ng Estes, si Oh My Venus naman yung gamit ng Popoland Kupa. Na last time ko nakita ang Oh My Venus Popoland Kupa, ang taas ng GPM at ng damage output niya. So that's also a very scary thing na makita natin sa Blacklist.
I know. And this is basically Oh My Venus hero din talaga. Talagang practice mastery of the hero din talaga itong Popal and Kupa. But look at this. Speaking of mastery, look at how annoying itong Kupa na to. Even had GC, pwede siyang ma-disrupt dito getting the purple buff.
That's
so,
right.
medyo sabihin na natin dito, the early game, or rather the tempo, would still come out from Omega Esports. But look at how position dito, yung mga support ng Blacklist International, providing every information that their team needs, Wise needs, or even OHEB.
Looking now dun sa mga levels ng mga cores natin, Edward is level 4, pati na rin si Toshi, prepping up para sa ating turtle take. Si GC medyo malayo dun sa turtle fight, pero yung rotation ni Y, saktong-sakto dun sa pwesto ng turtle. Kung mapapansin natin ang Blacklist, mas mauna yata sa pwesto around this turtle area. And how important is this free turtle kung sakali sa side ng Blacklist International, Rob.
Sobrang importante niyan, Wolf, kasi this will bolster the damage and the items. Pero mukhang aabot yata sila dito, Wolf.
Nandito na sila Toshi, Hajixin, Hayes, but Turtle has been slain by the Granger. Tama na dito si Edward, Granger with the ultimate. Healing coming out from Omega, pati na rin yung Aegis. Pero si Hayes, ang mapapatumba pa rin with Edward jumping forward. Ginamit na rin yung Flicker. First Blood, pati rin first Turtle na sa side ng Blacklist International.
Medyo naging pilit. Yes, nasabi natin na umabot doon yung Omega Esports, pero wala sila doon sa proper formation nila eh. Kumbaga, almost nandun na yung mga members ng Blacklist, and even na yung Hayabusa sinubukan pang rumesponde, hindi na rin hinaya at umabot. Basically level 3 pa nga lang siya, kumuha ng minion sa gitna para lang makuha yung kanyang ultimate.
Oh, Luigi with the teleportation, diversion ultimate, pero makita mas mata ng konti, kaya ang reaction ng Blacklist, makapag-out sila. And it's not like makakuha naman na kill ng Omega Esports ng ganun kadali. Second round na ng buffs natin, Rob. But the clear winner ng early game natin, or at least nung laning stage, Blacklist International.
Indeed, indeed. So the question is, paano ang magiging sagot ngayon dito ng Omega, as we are expecting that they are the first one na sa ito laban na to. Pero ito ang ano dito, Wolf, no? Kung iisipin mo rin naman, they have this Hayabusa, but later on, Circling Eagle dito para kay Oh My Venus.
Flicker ay na-commit ni Oh My Venus just to be safe. May kontra lang, pambugaw lang mula sa side ng Blacklist International. Pero mukhang gagawa ng move ang Omega ngayon dito sa may top lane. Hajizi, pati si Hayes aggressive dun sa may backlines. Nandito rin si Kurt TZ. Nino-zone lang ang mga members ng Blacklist International. Pero dito si Wise, dun sa bandang likod, Aegis popped by Omega. Lumalaban na ngayon ang Blacklist International moving forward. Nandito rin si Kupa, pero walang stun so far. Lui with a good rotation combo, pero may healing kami na from Eson. At biglang malinis, full health na ulit ang mga members ng Blacklist International.
Kumbaga, dala nila yung fountain dito sa mismong laban na to. Look at the mountain shocker dito. Look at that damage. Medyo pwede nilang matulak ngayon dito ang Blacklist. Pero that fight,
Oh my Venus!
started with a flank kay Wise at kay Eson. Pero Omega Esports, they're trying to force another turtle fight dito even without courtesy.
Yun na nga ang magiging problema sa Omega. -1 sila ngayon. Blacklist International starting yung turtle. Nakuha ni JC with the retribution. Edward, hindi tumama yung ulti, yung stun. May nahuli nga lang si Toshi. Gets out pero napatay na yung lapu-lapu with damage output ng Omega Esports. Ang kapalit ay si Hayes. Pero yung Omega, medyo okay para sa kanila yung nangyaring trade-off. Nakakuha sila ng isang kill kay Edward. Pero yung turtle nakuha ng Blacklist, ang gandang ipit coming out from Blacklist International. Kenji, naman siya shot. O hindi! Kulang yata! Merong damage ang Blacklist International para ma-burst yung Hayabusa.
Oh no! Yes, you said earlier, Wolf, no, na maganda yung naging trade nila doon. Nakuha nila yung turtle and they also got the kill from the lapu-lapu ni Edward. Yun nga lang na-pick off si Kenji, which is very unfortunate. And yes, now, medyo nagtayak ulit. Bumalik ulit yung favor ngayon dito sa Blacklist International. But meanwhile, Toshi dito sa baba, I think he's actually winning somehow dito against the lapu-lapu dito ni Edward. Pero nakita natin yung capability ng isang Luigi pag nagkaroon siya ng free, ng space to be able to do his combo with the rotation. Nakita natin yung damage.
Timing and...
Pero the big question is, pag hindi naman nila napatay from that combo, nakita natin kung paano napuno ulit ang buhay ng mga members dito ng Blacklist International.
Walking Fountain Durance now picked up ito na yung necklace sa sinasabi natin. Now part ng itemization ni Loyi. Gusto ko ginawa niya dito, hindi niya binuo yung kanyang boots. So ano muna, brown protector na sa Durance. Kenji committing the ultimate. Pero pang zone lang yan dahil gusto yata mag-push ng Omega dito sa may top lane. Bugaw mula sa Blacklist International. Oh My Venus with the flicker. Nahuli si Kenji. Alam niyang wala ng pang-dash. May nahuli pang trap. May combination na nga at napatay na naman nila si Kenji doon sa top lane.
Oh no, this is going sideways ngayon dito para sa side ng Omega. Kenji getting shotted down for twice involved, and this how to return it sa top lane might actually go down. Pero mukhang sumasap. Ito, no? Pagka nagkakaroon ng pick-off dito, ang Blacklist International, that Mountain Shocker is really helping them.
Yeah.
Why? Because hindi sila napupush basta-basta. Kahit pa paano na-show off yung mga members ng Blacklist.
Hindi na naman. Round number 2. Turtle ulit para sa Blacklist International. This time, Omega Esports, meron na sila 5 members. Wala na ring ultimate dito si Eson. Pero yung Turtle, makuha pa rin ni Granger. Oh My Venus in trouble. Or in trouble nga ba? Ito na, Louie, combo. Kaso na burst down na sila nila Harit. Backlanes sa likod. Nakita natin yung kill doon sa Harit with a stun. Edward nga lang kung kontra makukuha yung kill doon sa Yisun Shin. Eson and Wise nandun sa may likuran. Edward nang zone out looking for Kurt TZ kill. May stun by them. Nag-flicker muna dito si Louie. Another combo. In comes Kenji. Deal damage. SS down. Louie magte-teleport pa sa likuran. Gusto nilang kumuha pa na additional kills. Wise in trouble. Makuha pa ni Kenji yung kill. Hindi na. Pero si Kurt TZ yung tatapos.
Courtesy!
Goodness.
All around the map. Ramdam mo siya, doon pa lang sa initiation pa lang from the turtle fight, doon sa hinahabol na sila up until sa pag-chase off nila. In terms of positioning dito ni Courtesy, this is what they really need for Omega Esports now. Edward, merong skateboard dito. Medyo mag-ingat-ingat ka dahil pwede kang mastan yan. But going backward, nakita na natin, nagpe-pay off na ngayon yung necklace of Duran.
Exactly.
Given that Courtesy is having a good Louis game.
Oo, nakikita natin yung impact nung early Durance na yon. Courtesy, nag-ano siya dito, mystery shop. Tapos ni-rush niya talaga yung Durance. The fact na isang beses pa lang siya namatay in this particular game allowed the Omega Esports squad to kind of weather the storm. Parang na-survive nila yung initial na rotations ng Blacklist International. This time, okay na sila. Nakita natin nga lang yung gap when season siya ng Granger. Mauuna sa BOD. Etong si Wise. At malaking power spike yan. Isasabay din yan dun sa BOD na rin ni Edward na nagulat ako, napakayaman na pala ni Edward ngayon.
Yes.
BOD at Bloodlust Axe.
Exactly. Almost going 6,000 dito ang gold net worth ngayon dito ni Edward. And we've seen him naman diba? But he's actually jumping into the backlines dito ng Omega Esports and kaya rin medyo nawawala sa formation Nadi-dismantle dito yung Omega Esports because Edward is really giving them a hard time with this lapu-lapu. And ang nagiging sagot lang dito ng Omega is kahit papaano nagagawa ng paraan ni Courtesy. So this is gonna be another turtle fight na mangyayari pero may teleport na magaganap.
Diversion ultimates may likuran na doon si GC. Oh, heavy trouble. Oh, going down. Numbers na nga dito ng Omega. Looking for more. Kaso si Hayes napigilan nga lang ng mga traps. Oh my Venus, gusto yatang kumontrolin. Income sa quad shadow. Oh my Venus, might be in trouble pero may healing. Makauwi din sila doon. Toshi, ngayon na nila sa likuran. Kaso kailangan niya magbamba out. Otherwise, mamamatay siya. Oh, what a jump from Edward once again. Damage na naman. Makakatatlo ngayon na Blacklist International. Bigla. Kill para kay Edward.
Oh no! Sabi dito ni Kuya Edward, saan kayo pupunta? It started greatly for the side of Omega chasing in dito and with that rotation, na-pick off nila kagad doon si Oheb. Kaso, yung damage output dito ni Edward, hindi na nila Toshi with his Alice, kumaga na hindi na masustain.
Yeah. Makikita natin syempre, yung Blacklist International almost mautakan na sila ng Omega Esports. And I'm sure that as we watch this replay, brought to you by Oppo A94, experience gaming at full speed with Oppo A94. Get yours now for only $13,999.
Itong replay na to, dito natin nakita na na-pick up ni Haji si Oheb, pero hindi pa sila umihinto. Sabi nila, let's engage. So, Oh My Venus was actually the one who initiated the fight with Courtesy. Now, pasok sa may likod si Toshi, kaso hindi niya kayang i-sustain dahil mas malakas yung sustain ng heal dito ni Eso. Now, dahil medyo nagkaroon na ng mga cooldowns dito ng mga skills, pasok ngayon dito si Edward with the triple kill, and that sealed the deal, getting Blacklist ahead dito sa match na to.
Oh, Edward with timing and positioning. Pinag-usapan natin keyword, power spike. Biglang nagkaroon ng BOD si Wise, pati na rin si Edward. Kaya nga naman dun sa specific na laban na yon, lamang sila ng items. Parang few seconds lang, lumamang na ng bigla ng kalakasan yung Blacklist International. Ang nakuha din nila pagkatapos nun, Rob, nakuha sila ng push dun sa may top lane. 2 turrets down dun sa may top for a total of 3 on the side of Blacklist International. Now Omega going for a play. Si Oh My Venus ang inuna nila. May damage sila kaso si Wise naman ang pumotekta kay Oh My Venus in this moment.
Oh no, muntikan yun muntikan yun. I think Eson wasn't on the vicinity para i-heal doon si Oh My Venus. It's just that hindi lang enough yung damage doon ng Omega. But here comes this Hayabusa. Pero hindi pa tayo nakakita dito ng mga simple pick-up dito coming from Kenji. Pero kung papansinin mo, Wolf, Blacklist International is actually winning the team fights. Pero yung mga minion waves actually showed off papunta sa base ng Blacklist on the side lane. Well, yung mid lane hindi nila makuha kasi hindi mabasag ngayon ng Omega Esports. Pero this is what's keeping them alive. At itong mga gilid na to for Omega Esports.
I think Kenji, ginagamit niya din yung ultimate siya para yung shadow kill. Mostly just to clear the waves. Siguro nga, ganun yung naging epekto. Kaya yung Blacklist International, hindi naman talaga direct snowball. But napapansin natin ngayon na yung power spike is favoring definitely yung side of Blacklist International.
Yeah, this is almost a 4,000 lead for the side of Blacklist. Pero this is still, I really know na kayang-kayang bawiin ng Omega. Kasi nung tinignan ko yung item kanina, it's Toshi already has a Winter Truncheon and that might be a key sa susunod na team fight na mangyayari. But there might be a pick-up na naman dito kay Kenji.
Naku po, nauna na yung Quad Shadow ngayon si Kenji. Wala nang magawa. Super duper slow mula doon sa skill set. Ginamit na rin ni Wise yung Retribution doon. Kaya nga naman, nakita nyo, halos mastan na si Kenji sa sobrang bagal niya.
Oh, ang laki kasi ng napoprovide dito ng mga traps dito ni Oh My Venus Alam nila na malayo yung mga kakampi dito or rather mga teammates dito ni Kenji. And there, kaya nilang i-pick off yung Hayabusa even with those mobility like the Quad Shadow. Pero mukhang hindi sila maglo-lord muna rito. They would like to choke out first Omega Esports.
Kinuha nila ng orange buff. Wise getting the orange buff of Hajizi. Samantala sa may bandang top lane si Edward nakikipagmamaan kay Toshi dun sa may top lane. Alam naman natin, lapo-lapo at alis hindi magkakapatay yan. Alis may magkamali talaga ng todo. But that means Blacklist International, more map control. Ginamit na yung Dead Sonata. Ang gusto kong mabati na Blacklist International dito, taking down the turret. Estes healing na naman! Ako po si Eson! Mabubuhay pa rin with that flicker. Quad Shadow. And the Shadow kill already committed this time. Para makakmamba out. Walang namatay. But the turret will get so much damage by mid lane.
Nakita na natin and I think Blacklist International clearly win that fight. Kasi kung mapapansin mo, Eson na out-sustain niya. Siya na nga yung tinatarget ng Matilda, the Circling Eagle. Everyone is targeting this Estes. Pero pag hindi nila na-burst yun, it's gonna reverse at sila pa yung mawawala.
Exactly. This time, hindi na ipipilit ngayon na Blacklist International. Tumingin na sila nag-poke and Omega Esports. Nag-focus sila sa pag-clear ng waves. Kaya nga naman, madedepensa nila yung Torre na yun. And by the way, yung kanina pa nating sinasabing pag-split push dito ni Kenji, ay nagpe-pay off din sa may bottom lane para din may extra lane minion flow dun sa may backlines. Case tumalon nga lang dito sa may bandang Lord area. Si Oh My Venus, mapapatay lang dito ni Kenji. Sa magandang pick up mula sa Black International, Dead Sonata, ginamit ni Wise. Ito na si Edward. Back-to-main the ultimate. Napatay na nga nila dito yung Hayabusa. Can they get more? Louis with a good defense may sa backlines. Now isolated si Edward pero may flicker shot just to run away. Blacklist International, 1-for-1 naging trade-off.
Tingin ko, mas nag-favor pa rin yun for the side of Blacklist International. Yes, the Popolin Kupa was taken down, pero ang kapalit naman nun is Kenji, who is actually doing great sa mga side lane. That's the reason kung bakit hindi rin basta-basta makapag-lord dito ang Blacklist International. And I really like Wolf dito, yung discipline ng Blacklist International, that they could potentially take the lord, pero they don't want to risk it.
Yeah.
Diba?
Pero backline, courtesy, nakita si Edward, good shutdown to kung kakayanin. Pero tanong, kakayanin ba? Nandito na si Esso, nandito na si Wise. Kontra mula sa Blacklist International. Sa likuran, hinahabol dito si Hayes. Stun connects. May damage pa, nandito rin si Oheb. Hindi nga lang nakahabol. Medyo kumunat na yung mga members ng Omega with the Winter Transition ng Toshi. Ang yun nga lang napaggamit ng mga resources ng Omega, yung Blacklist naramdaman na nila, atin na tong Lord.
Kanila na talaga to. Dahil nagamit na nga yung mga resources and mga ultimates and even the Winter Transition doon ni Toshi, and they could not be able to contest that first Luminous Lord. Now, this would be hard for Omega Esports ngayon na lumabas. They were actually doing great kasi nakakapag-segue or suma-sideline pushes dito si Kenji. But this Lord might actually take at least one base turret sa kanila and all the outer turrets ngayon. In terms of positioning, sobrang lamang ngayon ng Blacklist International.
Do you think yung Omega kaya ba nilang depensa to, Rob?
That's a big question and I really have to see it right now. Well, dahil papasok na si Luminous dito sa gitna.
Deadbolt is may bandang gitna, tumalon na yung Lord sa likod, sa kaliwa, si Kenji na-isolate na. Yung Blacklist International hindi nag-commit sa kill. Ang kanilang source lang, ang kanilang gustong gawin na misyon. Kumuha lang ng Torre, katulad sinabi mo, one base turret down dun sa may mid lane. Top lane, umikot ang Blacklist International. Dito si Kenji. Papakita lang, gumagamit na ng Shuriken. Nag-clear lang sila dito. Dinadamage yung mga members ng Blacklist. Mahirap nga lang merong tumatangki pa na damage. May +1 yung Blacklist dahil nandun si Kupa.
Oh yes, kumbaga kung wala man silang heal, may isa pa silang taga-nice one baby na nagngangalang Kupa.
Oh no, ang taas ng damage ng Blacklist International dito. They will be able to get the top lane turret. At nakita nga natin depensa. Purify, ginamit ni Oheb. And Hayes mukhang confident sa ngayon. Kaso ito na nga si Oheb, nakuha na yung kill. Kami na from Omega Esports, they take out Oheb Harit. Nakita na kasi nila na kuminig-purify para sa likod! Version ultimate pala dahil Esso ni Tropa pero may flicker. Nakuha nila kill sa papalit ko pa. Tumalon si Cartesi, pati na rin si Toshi. Nakita dito si Esson, ang bagal maglakad, na-stun pa nga. Yung unang immortality and Esson will definitely go down.
Hindi pa tapos to, Wolf, dahil medyo maiwan dito si Wise and Kenji. Inaabangan, alam na to.
Iniipit na nila.
Alam na to ni Wise.
GZ, huli ka na Wise.
Oh, wow.
Wise, can he get at least one kill? Hinahabol nga lang siya. Mukhang hindi na. The burst is real. Omega Esports nakakuha ng 4 na kills.
But still, we all know na nangyari na yun, this would be gusto maganda kung makita natin dito sa replay na to. That's gonna be brought to you by Oppo A94. Experience gaming at full speed with Oppo A94. Get yours now for only 13,999. And going back dito sa replay na to, Wolf, nakuha nila yung dalawang base turret sa gitna at dito sa may taas. Pero nag-chase down dahil nakapag-regen na ngayon dito ang mga members dito, and also nag-cooldown na rin kanilang skills. Habol sila dito, and that TP, that diversion onto the backlane, hindi ready doon ang mga members dito ng Blacklist, and that's what get them ahead. Pero ang tanong dito, Wolf, will that be enough to turn the tables around para sa Blacklist International?
Definitely, mapifeel natin na may sipa, may suntok pa ang Omega Esports na ngayon. Lalong-lalo na pag nakakuha sila ng magandang diversion play. It's gonna be up to them kung paano nila kontrahin. Alam mo, Rob, nakakita na tayo ng ilang games na nalugi na talaga yung team, pero dahil lang sa mga Louis teleportations with the diversion, na-turn around pa nila yung laban. And Omega Esports is a team na kaya mag-pull off ng ganun.
And I can only imagine and how epic that would be, Wolf, kung paano. Kasi ito ang nangyayari, di ba? Perfect positioning coming from Eson. Lagi siyang nasa likod, but if hindi mo kasi may expect yun no? That's us gonna be on the brushes, and it probably ang makakatulong sa iyo doon is gonna be a trap coming from the populate ko pa, kasi mapapansin mo madalas si Venus yung humaharap So, di ba? So, ngayon, it's all about, pero mukhang magkakaroon dito ng laban. Sige. Ang mangyayari dito ngayon, Wolf, is that itong Lord na to would be highly contested by Omega Esports. They have to. Kasi pag binigay lang ito ng halos libre for Blacklist International, that might be over for them.
I definitely agree. Looking at Granger, Athena Shield yung defensive item niya, pati na rin yung quote-unquote defensive offensive item na Rose Gold Meteor. Para naman kay Haze on the Matilda, ganda nung dominance Ice picked up. I think sobrang crucial nito, Rob. Oh man, it's gonna be tricky. Yung Blacklist International. Oh! Louis plays! May likuran na naman! Kaso mangyayari yata dito Omega Esports, napatay na kay Louis. Wise in trouble! Pero hindi pa rin siya mapatay with the sustain. It comes Sketchy! Kaya pa yung kill, di niya naabot! At kayo siya pa! Yung makukuha ng Blacklist International.
Oh, that
Pinigra tayo noon. Kaso napasama pa Omega Esports, getting another death onto Matilda.
What actually happened, Wolf, is that nung nag-rotation sila doon, si Wise kagad yung yung sinugod nila Yun yung pinuntirya. Kaso sobrang nabantayan dito ng mga support dito ng Blacklist, and that's gonna be over for Omega Esports.
Ooh.
That could have been their win if they could have potentially taken down Wise. Pero hindi nangyari yon. Ang bilis ng nangyari, ang bilis ng pagpindot, nagkagulatan tayo dito, pero at the end of the day, mas naging handa, mas naging alerto ang mga tank support and the rest of the team dito ng Blacklist International.
This winning moment is brought to you by Oppo A94. Experience gaming at full speed with Oppo A94. Get yours now for only 13,999. Nakita natin yung Blacklist International. I was about to say na group na magkakasama lang sila. Ganun yung magkakadikit lang talaga yung mga members ng Blacklist International. Kaya naman pala, kasi gusto nila na handa sila doon sa diversion play na yan. Rob, siguro last question, gaano ka-importante yung itemization ng Granger? Nagpakunat siya Rose Gold plus the Athena Shield. Yun ba yung dahilan kung ba't siya nabuhay doon?
Totoo. I mean, there was a sliver of health ni Wise doon. Good thing na combo nila doon. Parang nag-Peter Pan pa nga si Matilda, pati doon si si Matilda together with the Louis, pero the damage wasn't enough.
Oh, man, napakagandang laban mula sa dalawang teams na to. I can't wait for the breakdown, which will be brought to us by our analyst, Midnight. Midnight, let's go!
Up until this day, hindi pa rin ma-decode ang Blacklist International. After a crazy game, they're still able to win against Omega PH. Once again, welcome to the Analyst Stand. My name is Midnight, and i-breakdown natin isa-isa kung paano naging takbo itong game natin for Blacklist International versus Omega PH. Tignan muna natin yung post-game stats, hatid sa atin ng Smart, the official tournament telco partner of MPL. Free to game great with Smart, free games for all. Dito natin makikita yung breakdown actually, from the draft to the itemization and yung adjustments na ginawa ng ating dalawang teams. First of all, syempre, ito pa rin, makikita pa rin natin dyan yung S-test ng Blacklist International. Pero note lang is hindi si Venus yung gumagamit ng Estes this time around. No? Siguro gusto rin magka-baby ni paring Eson dito, kaya siya naman daw yung mag-Estes. Pero it makes sense. Kasi ang gusto mo sa Estes is yung early game, makakuha siya ng maraming items para mas lalong effective pagdating ng mid-game. So si Ome Venus, siya naglaro ng Popol and Kupa, siya yung bumili muna ng mask. Kasi ang kailangan lang naman ni Popol and Kupa is honestly just the level 2. And after that, typical item progression na to the Cursed Helmet, Thunderbelt, and Demon Hunter Sword para meron siyang additional sustain and damage. Pero ang magandang adjustment dito is actually, tingnan natin yung items ni Granger, no? Athena Shield, and then Rose Gold Meteor. Usually nakikita natin yung Brute Force Breastplate on the Granger, pero pagdating kasi ng mid-game, parang nararamdaman niya na, okay, ang threat kasi kay Granger this time around is the Luoyi, the Alice, and the Matilda. These are the 3 gap closers that will make the life of the Granger really, really hard. So, ang sabi niya, okay, kailangan ko ng magic defense. Yan yung binibigay ng Athena Shield. At kailangan ko rin ng raw damage. Pero syempre, kailangan ko rin intindihin yung aking magic resistance. So, the Rose Gold Meteor was the perfect choice here for Granger. Actually, nag-play yan. Nagkaroon ng factor yan pagdating ng last clash, no? Nung hindi siya napatay ng Omega. Yung napakagandang play sana ng Omega Esports, hindi yun gumana sa kanila dahil nga yung item selection ni Wise dito is just perfect for Blacklist International. And once again guys, those stats are brought to us by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of MPL. Free to game great with Smart, free games for all. Bago tayo mag-move on sa ating mga highlights, no, yung mga moments ng ating game, ay check nyo muna yung ating QR code. No? Scan nyo na itong QR code, punta na kayo dito sa website, and fill upan nyo na yung form na kailangan para kayo magkaroon ng chance manalo ng skin worth of 599 diamonds. So again guys, fill upan nyo lang yung form. If you're one of the 30,000 registrants, no, may chance kayong manalo ng skin. And remember, matatapos yung giveaway natin after the last match. So unahan nyo na yung mga nakakakita nitong form natin, and pati na rin yung QR code. Scan nyo na yan and head on to get an amazing reward. Now, let's move on to the highlights of our game. Of course, again, brought to us by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of MPL. Free to game great with Smart, free games for all. As usual, makikita natin yung typical playstyle ng Blacklist International, no? After nakuha nila yung mga timings nila, magdidikit-dikit talaga sila, sama-sama sila. Sabi nila, hindi tayo pabagsak na magkakahiwalay. Lagi tayo magsama-sama. Every objective ng Blacklist International, gusto nila ay sama-sama sila. Of course, this is to maximize the impact of the Estes and the Popol and Kupa. Meron ka ng pang zone, meron ka pang sustain. Omega Esports, they had an answer, no? Nakakuha naman sila ng Matilda, nakakuha sila ng Luoyi. These two heroes are actually somewhat of a key against Blacklist International. Kasi imagine niyo yung pang-gap close ni Matilda ay kayang i-sustain ng Blacklist International. Pero the problem is, kapag nagsama-sama yung Blacklist to deal with the Matilda initiation, may Luoyi pa yung Omega Esports. So parang nakikita natin nagiging solid na yung idea, no, ng mga teams against Blacklist International. Pero syempre, execution pa rin yung magiging problem nyo dyan. Blacklist International, always, all the time, ready sila to sustain their course and make sure na kapag lumaban yung kalaban, laging nasa unahan si Oheb, si Eson, at pati na rin si Edward. Actually, gustong-gusto ko yung ginagawa ni Edward dito, no? Again, this is the strength of a lapu-lapu. Kaya mong i-sustain yung frontline, and at the same time, hindi ka pwedeng i-neglect ng kalaban mo, which what Omega did on these team fights, no? Parang iniisip nila, okay guys, kailangan natin patayin si Wise, kailangan natin mag-initiate sa backline, and kailangan natin mahuli yung Granger. And maraming beses nila nakuha yan. Pero again, ang naging problema nila dito in this game is si Edward on the lapu-lapu. I think this is the clash na pwede nating makita, no? Napakaganda ng play dito sana ng Omega Esports. Makakuha sila ng kill, no? Makukuha nila si Oheb dito. The Harriet falls down. So the team fight of Blacklist International is already reduced. Pero ang gagawin ng Omega Esports is, okay, let's split. Tingnan natin kung makakahanap pa tayo ng laban. Look at this. Sabi nila, okay, try nating labanan yung Popol and Kupa. Meron pa tayong Hayabusa and meron pa rin tayong YSS. So kayang-kaya natin labanan yan. But look at Edward. Always on the backline. Pangalawang beses niya nang ginawa to. Tinatalo na niya yung backline just to focus on Hajizi. Although hindi niya naabot si Hajizi kasi may dash pa yung YSS, he was committing the flicker, no? Itong flicker, kinumit niya talaga yan para mahabol niya si YSS. And ito, dito natin makikita yung target selection ng Blacklist International. This is where they excel. Alam nila kung sino yung targets na kailangan nila patayin. Edward using flicker to reach the backline and bigyan ng opportunity yung Blacklist International para lumaban. Kasi kapag nag-split yung Omega Esports, lugi actually sila against Blacklist International. Why? Kasi may Estes nga sa side ng Blacklist. Now, hindi naman walang bawi ang Omega Esports. Actually, napakaganda rin nung play nila dito, no? Sinalubong nila yung Blacklist International on their way back and they were able to get 2 kills out of this. And makikita natin dito na magsisimula na mag-disperse ang Blacklist International kasi hindi na nila kaya lumaban pa against Omega Esports. And dito natin makikita, actually si Wise, no? Etong movement niya, no? It looked like a feed, no? Parang random movement from the Granger. Pero the thing is, wala na kasi silang kawala doon. So Wise just opting to go on the bottom part of the map para makapag-split push. And ito yung key moment, actually. Ito yung part na nabuhay pa si Wise. Nakapasok sila sa may backline, eh. They had the Matilda initiation, pero kulang yung damage nila against the Granger. And after that, alam na nila na, okay guys, na maburn na ng Omega Esports lahat ng skill nila, habulin na lang natin yung mga heroes nila. Si Wise, pauwi ng base, pero yung 4, nagmamarcha na sa base ng Omega Esports. And this is where you see the fall of Omega Esports in this game. Isang crucial adjustment lang from the Granger, building up the sustain item and cleaning up the team fight here for Blacklist International. So, syempre, the MVP of our game, brought to us by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of MPL. Break through your own limits, rise above, and be free to game great with Smart. Free games for all. Again, Lapu-Lapu, Edward on Lapu-Lapu. Pero pwede rin namang Lapu-Lapu on Edward, no? KDA of 612, damage result of 73,292. Look at the damage taken, 116,959. And this is how important Edward was on that game. Ang taas ng damage na dinil niya, especially on the backline, no? Hajizi, hindi siya nakahanap ng pwesto para lumugar sa teamfights, and at the same time, yung sustain nila, even though meron silang Luoyi problem on the side of Omega Esports, he was able to rise above and be the MVP here for Blacklist International. Game number 1 goes to the boys in black. Tingnan natin kung kaya pa ba bumawi ng Omega Esports on game number 2. Casters, let's go!
Maraming salamat Midnight for that wonderful breakdown. And nakita natin nga yung biglang impact eh. I mean, kanina dun sa mismo cast when we were seeing that game, ang bilis na mga pangyayari. And then pag nakita na natin ng slowdown, dun natin nakita na ang lupit pala talaga ng galawan ni Edward with that MVP performance. What else can you say about that performance mula sa Blacklist International?
Ang dami natin. I think you deserve talaga ni Edward to get that MVP, getting the crucial pickoffs out the back lanes dito. So for the side of Omega Esports kasi 'di ba parang nagiging key nila yung Luigi. Pero yung pressure na binibigay ni Edward to them na nadidismantle nagkakawatak-watak. This is what Midnight mentioned din, no, na pagka nagkahiwa-hiwalay yung mga members dito ng Omega, they are getting pick off one by one. And that's how strong Blacklist. And yung ano din yung pag alam nila kung sino yung dapat nilang habulin. Alam nila kung paano lang sila. Para it's so disciplined, and I can never say na how do we actually decode Blacklist International?
Man, ang ganda ng mga sinabi mo. Kasi parang yun talaga yung nakita natin eh. Parang everybody's disciplined. Alam nila yung roles nila. Now, we move on to game number 2, the draft. We'll make the smart choices in the draft. Catch it next! Brought to you by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of the MPL. Free to game great with Smart. Free games for all. Ling ulit. Para sa Blacklist International. Ano ba to? Target ban ba to? O meron silang part of the plan?
I think it's not. In my opinion, the reason why they're actually banning itong Ling na to is like they don't want to have Wise on this specific hero. Or sa totoo lang no, kung ipapansinin mo even yung mga previous na mga matches ni Wise, I don't think na ginagamit niya itong Ling. And the Ling, rather for Blacklist International, they don't want to have had GC on this hero kasi nga yung side lane nakita natin yon with the Hayabusa earlier is actually giving them a hard time. So had GC with this hero, we all know how he actually uses this one. Pag hindi na maganda yung nagiging laro ni GC sa mid game, na he turns to a strategy on a side lane pushes. So I think talagang worth it talagang iban agad yung Ling na yon on this specific team.
Alam natin naging sikat ang KDA machine dahil nga naman dun sa Ling na ginagamit ni HGZ from before. Same bans para sa Blacklist International, para naman sa Omega Esports. Kung gusto nilang medyo ulitin yung kanilang draft kanina, Benedetta ang ibaban nila ngayon. Although Matilda yung hindi nila binan kanina, it's Diggy, di ba? Diggy, Pakito, and then Benedetta. Para naman sa Blacklist International, same. It's Eve, Uranus, pati na rin ang ating Ling. And I think Omega Esports will not give away Diggy. Pero at the same time, ang sakit din ng Benedetta eh.
I know, and we've seen Edward use this Benedetta. Ito na yun eh. Ito na yung point eh. Are we willing to give this Diggy? Or are we willing? So ang naging sagot nila, we're okay with the Benedetta.
Yeah,
Okay? So Blacklist International, they have all the time in the world, pero kung hindi nila yung...
Your team is picking.
Oh. So ito yun no, ito yung ginawa pala nila dito, Wolf, no? Na
Your
sige,
team is picking.
we're gonna bait the Benedetta. Kunin nyo na. Pero yun yung magiging sagot sana nila. So now, dahil kinuha agad dito ng Blacklist International yung Granger, Benedetta will be taken down by Omega Esports together with the Rafaela. Pero kasi kung isipin mo, Blacklist International, ang dami lang taga Nice One Baby sa hero pool nila eh.
So may Estes, you still have Angela, pwedeng gamitin. Kaso, nag-Rafaela ang Omega Esports, walang makukuha ang Rafaela ang Blacklist International. Harith is still available at pwede ito kunin ng Blacklist International. Tapos siguro pwede na rin recombo sa back siya. Or
True.
Popol and Koopa din naman ay available katulad kanina. Isang hero na pinangsasagot din sa Nice One Baby meta ang Popol and Koopa.
This might be an S-test na agad kasi if they or Harith for
Your team
Alice.
is picking.
Okay.
Alright, so now it's gonna be a big question dito for Blacklist or rather for Omega Esports is that what's gonna be it? Kung ibaban ba nila dito ang mga hero ni Eson?
Yeah.
'Di ba? Para at least ma-disrupt lang yung drafting dito ng side ng Blacklist or rather kung sino yung sasama dito kay Wise.
Yeah. Omega Esports, pwede nilang kunin ang Bruno since it's also available. Pwede rin naman
Your
ang isang
team
Harith.
is banning.
Yun?
Harith, they called it.
Sakto.
Oo. And ito, minention mo to kanina eh, no, na there comes a point that the Harith will actually outmaneuver ang isang Alice, specifically on the on late game. Yes.
Alitan eh, no?
Oo eh. Ito kasi no, with Alice kasi whenever you don't have the Winter Transition on cooldown, I think for sure Harith will be able to outbest.
Yep.
'Di ba? Ang isang Alice.
Ang strength kasi ni Alice, meron siyang way para mag-clear ng waves na mabilis. Kasi kay Harith naman, hindi kasing bilis ng isang Alice. Tapos may dash ka, may mobility tool ka, so mabilis ka pumunta from one lane to another. Kaya naman din crucial. Yun yung parang pros ng Angela, pero yung Harith naman, kung patayan usapan, mas mabilis pumatay itong si Harith.
And given kasi hindi mo rin kasi hindi ka rin makapag-spellbomb. 'Di ba? Makapag-lifesteal dito since medyo at least range ang isang Harith if they're gonna go against 1v1. So, now, the big question is for Omega Esports, what's gonna be their jungler? And they're trying to cancel dito a hero for I think it's still Edward, eh, no? Itong Barats na to, tingin ko hindi talaga palulusutin to, eh, no? Para sa Blacklist International. So, as we are looking here on the draft, what's gonna be it for Edward?
Your
It's like
team is
Omega
banning.
Esports is still willing to give the lapu-lapu.
Yeah, well, look at this. Minention mo yung Louis kanina. It was already banned out by Blacklist kasi naging problema siya kanina. Now, I think yung mga theories pa natin natitira dito is the lapu-lapu na potentially ibaban din ng Omega Esports. Meron din namang back siya na pwedeng kunin ng Blacklist International. And you also have along the lines of Balmond na ginagamit ng mga teams laban sa isang Benedetta. So, that's also one thing na pwedeng natin consider.
Yeah.
Khalid, nandyan pa, pati na rin ang Cho. So, in fairness, kahit pa sabihin natin na ba yung Barats, may mga choices pa rin naman for Blacklist International.
Yeah, and I really like to see, no, if ever na Omega Esports will be taking the show. Like, for example, bigyan natin dito like si Haze.
Your team
So, alam
is
natin na
banning.
sobrang nostalgic niyan if he's gonna be using it. And ako,
Yeah.
isa ako sa mga fan talaga. Isa yun sa mga reason ko bakit ang dami kong games ng show. Because na-inspire ako kay Haze.
Sila mismo nagban ng Estes. Ayaw nila ibigay yung Estes plus Rafa combo, which kinda tells us na ito na ang hero ni Edward. And then we might see a Kufra from Blacklist International na ipipick up ni Uncle
Your
Eson.
team is picking.
So yun na yung Kagura. Blacklist, I think, guess lang naman, it's gonna be Kufra plus good side lane. Either Lapu-Lapu or Baksha or Cho even.
Yeah. I think those were valid points, Wolf, na if they ever na gusto nilang kunin yung back siya na yon. And eto kasi yun eh, no? paano yung magiging in terms of the early rotation dito ng Blacklist International. You would want to have the Granger kasi, no, na magiging parang hindi siya madidisrupt sa farming niya. And yun yung nangyari, no. I think that was the Aura and Omega match wherein nahirapan si Had GC na makapag-farm because of I think that was Felicia using the Benedetta that time, na that is a big possibility na pwedeng gawin dito ng Omega Esports. But Franco and the Lapu-Lapu will be once again used here by Blacklist International.
Okay, so instead na Kufra na alam natin pang kontra sa mga dash, ang sabi dito ng Blacklist International, sige, hook na lang natin at kagatin na lang para ma-lockdown talaga, keep them in place. Ang daming control ng Blacklist International bigla.
Yes, ang daming nangangagat.
Ang daming nangangagat.
Blacklist International. But given the Franco ultimate, tapos meron ka pang Popol and Kupa.
That's right.
Oh no. It's a good thing that they have this one baby hero natin, Rafaela, healing for everyone. So, yeah, they could probably out-sustain dito yung damage potential ng Blacklist. Kung isipin mo kasi, hindi ganon ka-bursty yung draft dito ng Blacklist International. And there comes a point that Omega, or rather the Rafaela, could out-sustain, but the Claude will be here.
Generally, maganda ang Claude laban sa mga Alice, Popol kind of draft na alam natin makapag-stack siya easily. Siguro, ang problem lang for Omega Esports is ang greed na kanilang lineup. This means na magkakaroon ka ng Claude and Harith na cores for your team na alam natin farm-dependent parehas.
Yes.
So, it's gonna be tricky kasi paano nga ba gagawin ni Kenji na mag-make ng space for his teammates? Well, Blacklist International, the main problem that they have is wala sila talaga initial na wave clear na sobrang bilis. Like, Alice, it will take time. Lapu-Lapu, kailangan mo ng kumombo. And then Granger will have to commit the ultimate. Pati na rin yung Rhapsody. So, pwede silang i-run down ng Omega Esports, I would say. But ikaw ba, Rob, what do you think of this draft between Blacklist International and Omega?
I think Omega Esports dito could potentially take a good early stage, early game dito eh. Given that Benedetta kasi, yan yung mandi-disrupt eh. It would force a reaction dito coming from Blacklist International. Meanwhile naman, for Blacklist International, it's all about Eson.
Yeah.
On his Franco. If he could be able to disrupt Had GC getting his buff early game, sabihin na natin na mauna yung Granger into level 4 that could potentially get the first turtle of the game, that's a very good start para sa side dito ng Blacklist International. But that's if and only if Eson could be able to land those hook.
Yeah, ang tricky. At least, yung ating masabi. Game number 2 mga kaibigan ng Omega versus Blacklist International. MPL Philippines Season 7 is under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusements Board. And here we are, laning stage. Nasa pares sa teams. Sobrang importante para sa side ng Omega Esports makakuha ng farm. Para naman sa Blacklist International, maganda pa rin yung pag-control nila sa mga big objectives katulad ng Turtle at Lord. Katulad ng nakita natin sa Game 1. So we can expect na ganun ang magiging emphasis on the side of Blacklist International.
I like the anticipation dito, Wolf, on both teams, no? They actually tried to clear the first wave. So, parang dinidisrupt na kagad nila dito yung yung early disruption, yung panggugulo ng isang Franco dito. And to think of it, na nakita din ni Had GC na pumuposisyon na si Eson doon sa may purple buff. He just used the Art of Thievery, then go on to the orange buff. And yung ikot ng Franco na yan, you look at that, mga kaibigan, sa mapa na yan, hindi enough yan para...
Welcome to the Giga Life. Your passions, your stories, your life. Simplified with just one app. This is the future. The Giga Life in just one tap. Experience more Giga moments when you make the smart choice. With the Philippines' fastest mobile data network. How do I know it's T1? Simple, smart ako. sana, pero hassle ang kate. Yung kati na yan, dahil sa dandruff yan. You need Head and Shoulders. Unlike beauty shampoos, tanggal ang dandruff that causes kate. No more hassle sa moment. Goodbye na sa kate dahil 100% dandruff-free ka.
Sikreto ng mga gwapong Master Gamer? Para fresh all day, bring your clay game with Master. New Master All-in-One Clay Wash. Fights germs, controls oil up to 12 hours, and helps prevent pimples. New Master All-in-One Clay Wash. Sikreto ng mga gwapo.
Daw Eka kung
naman sana saraduhan ng karangka ng puso mo sapagkat napagtanto ko na
Express your online business. Express your online business.
When you look inside a JanSport backpack, you see a story that started in 1967.
Action for the MPL PH Season 7, match number 2 at game number 2 na rin ng Blacklist International laban sa Omega Esports. Wolf and Rob, your casters. Rob, karoon tayo na konting pause, but now we're back. Ano nga ba yung huli nating mga napag-usapan sa laban na yun?
Well, pinag-usapan natin dito is kung paano yung magiging early game dito ng Blacklist International. Will Eson be very disruptive para dito or rather annoying para sa side dito ng Omega? I think the answer is mukhang hindi niya pa nagagawa. Yung usual hook sa mga buffs dito ni Haji C.
In fact, we are 3 minutes in. Dalawa na nakuha kill ng Omega. Another iron hook na kinumit ni Eson in the mid lane na walang makukuha. Samantala sa may top lane naman, it's Edward versus Kenji. Lapo-lapo ang nawala with the flicker commitment.
Oh, wow!
Nakapag-mamba out lang.
That 1v1 and a very good timing din as well. I really like how Edward played that offensively. Sabihin na natin hindi niya na-pick off doon si Kenji, but he actually won that lane. Kasi libre na to eh. Tapos given na nandun pa si Wise, they could potentially take somehow gold from the energy shields.
Outer turret energy shields, top lane, bottom lane, ganun naman. Pero nandito si Oheb to defend. Zaman Force gonna be committed. Siguro nga naman na gusto nilang bugawin dito sa Oheb at kumuha ng as much gold as possible dito sa may bottom lane. Kaya nga naman ang Omega ay magiging komportable. Although yung sa top lane, yun naman yung mas malupit. Katulad nga na sinabi mo, Rob, mas impactful yung 1v1 na yun.
Totoo. Yung simpleng, given na hindi pa nga siya na-pick off doon eh. Tapos nabasag kagad. This is a very early tower push coming from Blacklist International resulting into the first turtle pa, Wolf.
Mukhang ganun na nga mangyari as Blacklist secures the turtle so easily. Ang kinailangan lang nilang gawin ay bugawin yung side ng Omega. Take nga lang para sa Omega Esports, Rob, hindi ganun kalakas yung kanilang early stage talaga. I think nung draft, napag-usapan natin na ang Omega Esports baka mag-struggle sa early stages of the match. Nakakuha sila ng 2 kills, pero kung defending their turrets, pati na rin yung turtle, lumalamang yung side ng Blacklist International.
Ito yung Wolf, hindi nagawa ni Eson kanina yung usual nakikita natin on Franco, be able to hook yung mga buff para mas tumagal yung farm dito ng jungler ng Omega Esports. Pero yung turnout of events, mas napaganda pa. Kasi nabasag nila yung outer turret, pero dito sa gitna, Wolf, sino ang mas makakalamang ngayon?
Curtisi, atakas ang ganda na kapkabinawan from Omega Venus. Curtisi will have to back down. Si Eson nga lang ay mapapasama. Harris makakuha ng kill. Ranger, gumamit ang kanyang ultimate para bugawin ng mga members ng Omega. Hindi mag-overcommit, but they did get a kill kay Eson.
That could have gone worse para sa side ng Blacklist. It just so happened may mga flicker pa dito sa kanilang side and still, may comeback naman sila with Edwards lapu-lapu. Nakita natin to during game number 1 still. Ito ngayon na nagbibigay ng pahirap dito sa mga members ng Omega Esports. Yung top lane na yun might be crucial dito sa early to mid game world kasi hindi na ngayon ganun ka-confident doon si Kenji sa top lane.
No. That means as well, Rob, na wala na nga makaka-match ngayon kay Edward. Just like in the previous match, do take note, bigla siya nagka-Bloodlust Axe and BOD. Naunahan pa niya ng farm yung kanyang jungler noong time na yun sa mga kills na nakuha niya for the team. So far, 1-0 para kay Edward. And it's looking good para sa ng Blacklist International. Lumalamang sila ngayon ng 1,000 gold. But Omega, they do have a good late game. Maganda naman yung kanilang late game potential with Benedetta, Claude, Harith.
Ito kasi yung nangyari, Wolf, no? We all know that this Benedetta could potentially cut lanes. Probably force a reaction dito coming from Blacklist International. Kaso, ang nangyayari, nababaliktad yun. Kumbaga, sila pa yung ini-invade.
And look at this. Tingnan mo yung damage ni Oheb. Getting the Calamity Reaper first. I'm not sure kung pangalawang item na yun. Kung nauna na yung Clock of Destiny tapos Calamity Reaper in just 7 minutes, Means maganda to para sa Blacklist, pero yung Turtle, kinokontrol ngayon Omega. Zaman Force committed, Turtle secured nung Claude. Great job with the ultimate. Kaso nag-kill lang mga members ng Omega. Makakaalis na kasi doon. Shadow Mask para kay Eson. Alam naman natin yung potential ng mga plays na yan, but
I know.
I'm really concerned here. Oheb, dalawa na nga yung items niya.
Yes, that is an overfarmed Alice indeed. Calamity Reaper with Clock of Destiny. Ito pa yan, Wolf, no? The earlier na makuha mo yung Clock of Destiny, the stronger your Alice would be. Kasi mas lalo niya makukuha yung stack niya. And now, look at that. I mean, every wave dito sa may bottom lane would just simply get cleared out. Tapos mas mabilis pa yung magiging orb farming niya dito. So now for Omega Esports dito, tignan mo naman, the gold hindi naman nalalayo. Pero yung tempo was all in Blacklist. Ngayon si Toshi dito with the Zaman Force.
Zaman Force committed, stunned si Omega Venus Flicker just to get out. Blazing do it na, kaso walang makukuha yung side ng Omega Esports kundi mag-clear ng wave. And I'm pretty sure yung Blacklist International ay masaya dun sa nangyari na yon.
I know, dahil na hindi naman totaling nasayang yon for HAD GC. Pero they know na wala ngayon na damage dito ang side ng Omega and they would force this outer turret or rather inner turret dito sa may bottom lane. So, ang nangyayari dito ngayon, Wolf, unti-unting lumiliit yung vision, yung mapa ng Omega Esports. And we all know na mas kailangan nasa kanila yung tempo kasi parang nagsusnowball na ngayon. And look at the hook with the timing. Fortunately, natakasan yon ng Kagura.
Yeah, do take note, ang Kagura ay may way para mag-quote-unquote purify with a few seconds.
And commended yung reaction time doon ni Curtizy.
That's perfect. Makikita natin ngayon sa side of Blacklist International with 3 turrets. 3-0 yung turrets kasi na nakuha natin from both teams, which means na ang Blacklist ay lumalamang talaga sa gold. Talking about map control, ang sinabi dito ni Rob, dahil pag nauubusan ka ng mga tore, eventually nahihirapan kang kumontrol ng mapa. Omega, lalaban yata sa may gitna. Kenji just stacking through that. Oh, yun ang nakuha natin. Huli ulit dito si Kenji. Kung kontra pa naman Blacklist, Dead Sonata, nasaktan na nga sila. Wentworth dito sa may likuran, pero nag-flicker pabalik. Hindi overcommitment ang gagawin ng Blacklist International. Gonna be a kill onto that Benedetta. Nakita mo yun na kapag nasaktuhan kasi na yung ultimate, tapos na nag-second skill pa rin yung Benedetta, totally mananigit yung damage. But Oh My Venus will be taken out by Oheb. At mukhang lalaban pa nga dito si Oheb nga lang. Oh man, by Toshi I mean. Kill on Oh My Venus, pero mukhang masaya pa rin Blacklist.
Parang gusto pang i-force pa rin to ng Omega. They still would like to fight this one. Pero eto na yon ngayon, Wolf. We're already on the mid-game. 2,000 lead for the side of Blacklist International. You mentioned earlier na yung draft dito ng Omega could potentially be stronger going into later stages of the game given that they have this Claude. So now, there's a big possibility that Omega, they're just trying to turtle it out. Na, let's not force too much team fight. We could potentially get this on the late game. Bigyan muna natin ng gamit dito si HAD GC. Probably get a split pushes coming from the Benedetta dito ni Kenji. Look at the positioning dito ngayon ng Omega and even the Blacklist. They're already eyeing the First Lord.
Oh, ang Peson, may nakuha na nga dito. There's the suppression. Ikaw sa may Venus, pero may damage pa. Hindi, Kenji onto the backline. Here comes the blazing duet. Napatay na nga dito si Eson. It's gonna be the first kill dun sa clash na yon. Omega will not follow up. Sabi ng Blacklist, okay na, ibigyan na natin si Eson. Huwag na nating dagdagan.
Yun yung naging kulang doon para sa side ng Blacklist. They lack the burst damage doon. That was actually he's been hooked by Eson dito. So now, that is also a good window of opportunity ngayon dito for Omega to take some of the vision or to take the map control.
Oh, looking at the Benedetta. Pero si Edward, mabibigyan dito ng Omega. Ducking through it all. Kamuti ka pa nga si Hayes, pati na rin si Curtizy. Pero mapapatay pa rin nila yung Lapu-Lapu. And Omega Esports, safe na yata umalis ngayon. Kahit pa may Death Sonata coming out from Blacklist.
Ito ngayon yung magiging problema, Wolf. Blacklist International been able to take the early going into mid-game. Pero kasi there will come to a point that this Franco gonna go to like a hit or miss. Nakikita natin laging on point yung kanyang mga hook. Pero right after the suppression, right after the ulti na meron siya, he's just gonna have to wait for cooldowns na. And that's where the power spike of Omega Esports is. And ngayon, sila na ngayon ang susugod dito.
Sumugod na nga Omega Esports. Wise in trouble. Hinabol kasi si Rafaela maunan. Oheb, makakatakas din. Zaman Force, wala na doon sa area si Toshi. Kaya nga naman mahuli siya with the knockouts. It comes Edward. Flicker in. The shutdown na kayo, Harith. And Omega Esports will lose 2. Just like that. Sila kasi yung nauna.
Oh. I think medyo confident yata doon yung side ng Omega. They thought na they could be able to take team fights against Blacklist International. Now, this might actually result the first Lord dahil dun sa dalawang pick-off na yun, Wolf.
Saktong-sakto pa, 12 minutes na enhance na yung Lord. Luminous Lord gonna be in favor of Blacklist unless Kenji says something about it. Nag-electro final blow sa may likuran, kaso nakuha na ka ni Wise. Yun yung overturn, kulang alang damage, mapapatay yung Kagura. Edward will try to save Wise. Hey, sinahabol dito si Wise.
Baby!
Tapos mabilis masyado, yun na
Nice one, baby!
Naku po!
Oh,
at protektahan pa nila Eson. Blacklist International wins the clash.
Hindi umaabot yung Light of Retribution. Habol na habol doon. Gusto na ni Baby, kaso ayaw ni Wise. Oh no.
Iba daw yung baby ni Wise, sabi niya. Ayoko niyan.
Yan, dyan mo masusukat talaga. Dito, yung pagiging loyal.
Loyalty
dito.
award goes to Wise.
To Wise, totoo yan. But this instant replay is brought to you by Oppo A94. Experience gaming at full speed with Oppo A94. Get yours now for only 13,999 pesos. Going back dito sa replay, Wood, sinubukan naman ng Omega Esports. Look at Kenji's positioning dito. He goes in, pero medyo tagilid yung kanyang electro final blow. Hindi nakadiretso dun sa may turtle. Probably, sinusubukan niyang mag-pick off or rather getting Wise. That's the reason kung bakit ganyan yung buhay ngayon ni Wise. Look at Haze. Hindi abot yung kanyang Light of Retribution. Skill 1. At nung nag-time na, or rather nag-cooldown, hindi na umabot, hindi niya napatay. Ngayon, Lord is approaching sa bottom lane ngayon ng Omega Esports.
I think nag-proc din yung Hunter Strike doon, kaya may biglang speed boost din para makikita nyo na biglang bumilis yung lakad niya. Which we'll about to see later kung pag nagkaroon tayo ng item check, siguro makikita natin talaga kung ano yung itemization. But that means Blacklist International easily takes that turret dun sa may mid lane. Makikita rin natin dun sa top. Sobrang bilis nila mag-take na ngayon ng mga objectives. Blacklist International reaching critical mass. Yung kanilang power spike sa moment na to.
Wolf, the big question is how do we actually decode Blacklist International? They are playing in the zone ngayon dito, mga kaibigan. And we all know that there is always a possibility na baka matapos ito. Kung hirap ngayon dito ang Omega Esports. Another hook dito. Nice one, Baby. Siya yung una pang nabura. Haze, getting pick off dito. Wolf, nako, mukhang gusto nang tapusin ng Blacklist International tong laban na to.
Si Eson yata, ano siya, halika dito, baby siya eh.
Oo nga.
Hindi siya nice one, baby eh.
Halika dito,
baby.
baby.
Eson, forcing the Purify para kay Toshi. Hindi siya nahatak, pero na-force yung Purify ngayon. Blacklist International, feeling confident, nagpo-poke around the base ng Omega. Madedepensahan pa ito ng Omega. Maganda yung wave clear. Team ng Omega and Curtizy na patalon. Not committing the yun yung overturn yet.
Pero ayaw pang umalis dito ng Blacklist. They are still confident that they could be able to close down the game. Bakbakan na naman dito.
Sa likuran! Nato si Kenji! Kaya ba talaga makuha sila sa kill? Dahil kay Oh My Venus at the Lapu-Lapu as well. Ng gandang dissection coming out from Omega. Haze with a flicker. Round 2 na naman. Kaso sabi ni Wise, hindi mo na naman ako mahabol. Even with the speed boost, Haze as a support, hindi na niya hahabulin doon sila Wise.
Okay, nagkaroon dito ng konting window ang Omega to be able to breathe. Medyo nag-overstay na rin doon ang Blacklist International given na nabasag naman na nila lahat dito ng base turret. Now, the itemization dito, kikita na naman natin, is almost the same that we had seen earlier. Granger dito, makunat at one of the reasons bakit hindi siya na-pick up during the Lord team fight. Meanwhile naman, yung Claude or the damage dealer dito ng side ng Omega, is this enough to be able to burst down members dito ng Blacklist International?
Kailangan pa nila ng farm, definitely. Kakayanin, they have good scaling. Gusto ko lang na point out si Oh My Venus, 2 casual items, casualan lang, Deadly Blade, na rin ng Molten Essence.
Ito yung yung kumbaga parang hap-hap lang. Kumbaga kinuha niya yung Iron Mask, Molten Essence, pero hindi na muna binubuo.
Normally yung Chapsuy build hindi nagiging effective, kaso sa kamay ni Oh My Venus at ang talino din ng pagkaagamit, nasusulit. Yan kasi yung power ng Popol and Koopa.
I know, and also yung Thunder Belt is a one perfect item. Then para sa side ng Popol and Koopa, there's a slight slow din as well doon sa kanyang unique passive. So kaya nahihirapan kung sino man yun nyart niyang Popol and Koopa na yan, talagang hirap gumalaw, especially during team fights.
Do take note, kanina yung minention natin na Hunter Strike, kaya biglang bumilis yung paglalakad ni Granger habang hinahabol siya ni Haze. Yun. Kaya nga naman, makikita nyo, dun sa game number 1, si Wise, yung itemization niya biglang Athena Shield. This time, purely offensive, pero may konting defense pa dahil sa mga no-quality speed boost. So, Blacklist International, kaya siguro talaga nila kinukuha yung first pick na Granger Rob kasi kabisado talaga nila
Oh, wise. Really doing very well dito sa Granger na to. And I like Blacklist International discipline. Regardless, nabasag na lahat ng tore ng Omega. They're not really trying to push it out. Kumbaga, pwede nilang i-bait to eh. And for Omega, kumbaga magkaroon sila ng mga risky na mga moves. Pero mukhang ito na si Halika Baby.
Huli ka, baby! Sabi ni Eso na naman, nakakuha ng isang kill dun sa Rafaela with the burst down of Blacklist International. Si GZ nagpo-poke Art of TV. Kaso na siya ni Omay Venus! And facing towards sa may bandang kaliwa. Kaso hindi masyado effective. They did get a kill out to the Alice. Edward, may big trouble. Kaso, yun na, flame shot for the slow. Benedetta with the last hit. Edward gonna be taken out. And Omega, nakakuha sila ng 2-for-1 trade-off.
Ang ganda ng simula noon for the side of Blacklist. Nahuli ka baby dito si Hayes. But the damage coming from that claw. Pero hindi pa to tapos. Wolf dahil gusto is po-force ngayon to ng Blacklist kahit tatlo lang sila dito.
Hindi tumama yung hook ni Eson. Omega kumuha pa rin dito ng Lord. Sino makakuha? Eson with the jump! Ang kuha mo yung kill dun sa Harit. Ang gandang naman para kay Eson. Kaso yung Lord buhay pa rin. Omega Esports ang makakuha. Na-retry na nga. Oh my Venus. Ito pa pati rin si Eson. Blazing the wet. Omega, nakakuha na ng 4. Sama mo na rin yung Lord.
Na-retry Kuya Wolf. Oh my! Lord, and this could potentially be a good window para ngayon sa Omega Esports to come back onto this game.
Kamuntikan pa silang masegway ng mga minions dun sa kanila ng base. But Omega Esports standing strong, sila yung nakakuha ng mas magandang retry.
I know, right? But this instant replay is brought to you by Oppo A94. Experience gaming at full speed with Oppo A94. Get yours now for only 13,999. So ito na ngayon ang nangyari sa instant replay, mga kaibigan. The hook did not connect. Sinubukan pa rin naman nila ditong labanan ng Blacklist kahit tatlo, laban sa tatlo naman ito. Pero had GC with the perfect retribution, getting and securing the Lord, tapos napatay pa nila dito, hinahabol na ngayon nila rito. Look at that, blazing duet, saktong cooldown, muntikan pa si Oh My Venus ma-pick up on the process.
Tumalon na yung Lords sa may bottom lane, dun sa outer turret. Pero may nahuli, suppression from OM, kaso kulang. Namatay na nga dito si OM, yun ang pamula ng Omega Esports. Oh My Venus, ito ang blazing duet na naman sa may batang likuran. Nakakuha na ng 2 kill ang side ng Omega Esports, si Y, sinabuli ang GC. Pero makukuha ng konting kontra na ngayon si Edward. Take ng sobrang taas na damage out mula sa Omega, pero may sustain, may konting harang. Kaso si Wise natalunan ng nga ni Gartizi. And now they're in trouble. Edward na papaligiran. Yung base nga lang. Yung Omega, inuuna na. Omega tying the series.
Omega with an epic comeback against Blacklist International. We all thought that Blacklist International had that game, but with that perfect opportunity on that Lord team fight, Wolf, honestly, I'm speechless, pero yung puso ko galit na galit dahil sobrang exciting ng match na yon.
And I think they caught us sa atin field na siya at medyo hinihingal pa nga tayo sa mga nangyari. Exhilarating performance coming out from Omega Esports and worthy ng kanilang pagkapanalo. Naghahabol ang Omega Esports ng way para mabalik yung momentum at ang kanilang hurdle ngayon. It's Blacklist International, top of the pack. At nakikita natin na maganda ang kanilang pinapakita sa game number 2.
Agree ako, Wolf. And for sure, all the viewers are really excited right now. How would this tale, or rather this series, kung paano ito magtatapos? Omega having that epic comeback might be the play of the game, but we'll see paano magpapan out, Wolf.
I'm sure na madaming na namang magte-trending na naman ang pag-secure ng Lord na yon, retribution, segue ng mga minions at kung ano-ano pa. Pero syempre, ipababato natin sa ating eksperto, sa ating analyst na si Midnight, kung ano nga ba yung breakdown nung nangyaring game number 2 na yon. Midnight, please break it down for us.
Everyone stepped up, but the story of the game is Omega Esports getting to game number 3 against Blacklist International. Makikita ba natin na mabibreak ang code ng Blacklist, or will Blacklist be able to secure another win for them? Welcome to the Analyst Stand. My name is Midnight, and i-breakdown natin isa-isa kung paano ba nanalo ang Omega dito sa game number 2. Now, these following post-game stats are brought to us by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of MPL. Free to game great with Smart, free games for all. First of all, ang mananotice nyo sa lineup ng Omega Esports is that they're late game oriented, okay? So, ang idea is early to mid game mas malakas ang Blacklist International, and pagdating ng late game, Omega Esports ang lamang pagdating sa team fight kasi yung mga heroes nila, they naturally scale way better compared sa heroes ng Blacklist International. And yung early game, actually nakita natin to na napunta pa rin sa Omega Esports even though na dapat sa Blacklist International yung early game, no? Pero come the mid game, naramdaman na natin na eto na naman yung playstyle ng Blacklist International. Ang hilig nila magdikit-dikit. Again, with the Popol at Gupa, with the Alice and the Lapu-Lapu, same pa rin yung makikita nating movements from Blacklist International. But of course, again, the heroes on the side of Omega Esports, they just scale way better pagdating sa late game, no? Actually, ganda nga ng mga itemization, yung mga item choices ng mga players natin. Kasi makikita natin dito na hindi nila kailangan mag-all-in sa attack damage pagdating sa late game, no? Or magic damage. Ang kailangan lang nila is survivability. Look at Hajizi. Yung damage item niya rito is yung Demon Hunter Sword and Golden Staff. That's it. Yan na yun. After that, sabi niya, okay, full defense tayo kasi hindi lang naman ako yung carry eh. Meron pa akong Harit. Look at the Harit. Nakaano siya rito. Siyempre, yung una niyang item, makukuha niya yan sa early game. Pero, ang key item dito is yung Queen's Wings, no, sa Toshi, para ma-survive niya yung onslaught ng Blacklist International. Again, the key storyline here is that the late game is way better sa side ng Omega Esports. And it's just that, pagdating sa late game, hindi naman kailangan mag-all-in ng damage items ng Omega Esports. Kailangan lang nila mag-survive kasi yung nature ng mga heroes sila talagang mas malakas pagdating sa Blacklist International on the later parts of the game. Once again, these stats are brought to us by Smart, the official tournamental co-partner of MPL. Free to game great with Smart, free games for all. Bago tayo mag-move sa ating highlights, ay check nyo muna yung ating rewards dito, no? Scan this QR code, punta kayo dito sa website natin, fill up nyo yung form, and may chance kayo manalo ng skin worth of 599 diamonds. So, ito yung pamimigay natin sa first 30,000. Okay, sa first 30,000 na makaka-fill up ng form na to or makakapunta sa site by using the QR code. So guys, bilisan nyo na bago pa maubos ang ating mga giveaway. Okay? So again, this is the QR code and ito yung website. Nakita nyo yan sa inyong mga screen. Now, let's move on to the highlights, no, ng ating game. Hatid sa atin ng Smart, the official tournamental co-partner of MPL. Free to game great with Smart, free games for all. Makikita natin dito sa early game na, again, Omega Esports, sila actually yung lamang. Sila actually yung lamang sa early game. Meron silang 2 kills dito. But the thing is, sa tanks naman daw yun, sabi ng Blacklist International, sa tank supports lang naman nakakakuha ng kills ng Omega Esports. Pero dito kasi natin makikita na parang baka maka-comeback yung Omega Esports pagdating na late game. Kasi naturally, you'd see Blacklist International just get early game momentum, snowball from that point on at hindi na makaharap ng farm yung Claude. Yes, pagdating ng mid-game, nakikita natin yung mga magagandang engagements ng Blacklist. Again, Edward, nag-shine siya pagdating sa backline. But, again, the storyline is, ang gagawin lang ng Omega Esports is hold onto the momentum that they have. Kasi alam nila, pagdating ng late game, tayo naman yung lamang. That doesn't stop Blacklist International from initiating objectives against them, no? Nandun pa rin yung gilas ng Franco at the Popol and Kupa combination ng Blacklist International. But again, it's just that it's really hard for them to actually fight off against this lineup. Comment ko lang si Oheb, no? Actually, sobrang ganda ng mga movements si Oheb. Kasi ang ginagawa ng Blacklist International, imbes na si Alice yung nag-i-initiate, yung Franco yung pinang-initiate nila. Para pag yung Harit ay gumamit na ng Zaman Force, pag na-force out na yung ultimate from Toshi, free to move around the teamfight na si Alice. Kasi again, the nature of the matchup, no, mas lamang si Harit kay Alice pagdating sa teamfight. Because of the mobility factor, ang ginagawa ng Blacklist International, imbes na i-alay nila si Alice muna, si Franco, yung ina-alay nila sa may front line. Omega Esports, after that, pagdating ng mid-game, okay, medyo equal na yung footing natin, no? Nakuha na ng Blacklist International yung momentum nila dahil nga mas malakas yung hero nila pagdating ng early game. But at least, we're still holding on. 3K lang yung lamang ng Blacklist International against Omega Esports. And this is where you start seeing the cracks on the draft of Blacklist, no? Yung team fight, mas pabor sa Omega Esports. So when they won the team fight, this Lord take, inherently, kapag nakuha pa ni Blacklist International to, may nagkamali sa side ng Omega. But of course, hindi naman nila gagawin yun. The focus is, patayin na kagad si Granger bago pa matapos si Lord. Okay? So, the target selection of Omega Esports, sabi nila, oy guys, nakita natin si Granger, dumaan dito, hindi nila tinira si Lord. Pinatay muna si Granger sa may backline bago tinapos yung Lord. So, this is experience coming out from Omega Esports kasi baka ma-retry. Okay? Baka ma-retry. Baka mabasican sila and makuha pa yung Lord from Omega Esports. Sabi nila, guys, focus tayo. Patayin muna natin si Wise bago natin tapusin yung Lord. And after that, it was just an Easy execution in the mid lane. Hulihin natin kung sino man yung mag-defend dito kasi yung lahat naman ng waves ay pushing. So Omega Esports, they have the authority to dictate where the pressure is and all in na sila dito kasi wala nang papatay sa kanila. The damage output is minimal sa side ng Blacklist International. Patay na si Alice, hindi na rin masyado makakagalaw si Edward during these fights, and full ng Blacklist International, they're way superior pagdating sa team fights, and that was the key factor here for Omega Esports for winning that game. And of course, the MVP of that game is brought to us by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of MPL. Break through your own limits, rise above, and be free to game great with free games for all the Kagura of Kurt TZ. Look at the KDA, 629, damage dealt of 69,162. Objective damage, syempre mababa lang ngayon. Pero yung kill participation, ito yung dahilan. Bakit parang nakahanging yung Omega Esports, no? Even though lamang na lamang sa early game lineup ng Blacklist International, Kurt TZ played a lot of moves this game. And actually, yung pag-focus sa Granger kanina, sa kanya din yung credit na yon. And that is how Omega Esports was able to clinch a victory against Blacklist International. Feeling ko excited na talaga kayo sa ating Game 3. Malalaman na natin kung madedecode na ba ang Blacklist or sila pa rin ang magwawagi. Casters, ano sa tingin nyo?
I think na gusto tayong bigyan ng malupit na laban ng para sa teams, and we are just enjoying it. What a wonderful breakdown indeed. Rob, na-mention maraming beses yung Kagura, siya yung naging eventually naging MVP ng match. Hindi natin masyadong na-focus during the actual game, but gano'n ba ka-impactful? Lalong-lalo na yung pagtunaw niya with the yin-yang overturn sa last clash.
Yeah, I like what you mentioned, no? About dun sa Kagura ni Kurt TZ. Yun yung naging key rin, eh. I mean, yung burst kasi, potential from the Kagura. Tapos, given na ang hirap pa niya huliin. Diba? Tapos, ang maganda pa dito, objectively, si HGC talaga was actually just providing all the damage. Hindi, to be honest, that was probably the first time that we've seen a Claude na zero kills. Diba? It doesn't matter regardless of 0 kills as long as you win the game.
Yeah. Makikita naman natin kasi yung kanyang pwestuhan, hindi lang naman yung 0 kills yung kailangan tingnan, 0 deaths.
Yes.
13 assists. At nakita natin kahit naman yung damage output niya overall that match ay mataas din. So, yung mga pwestuhan niya around the map allowed Omega Esports to take that victory. Pati na rin yung kanyang crucial na pag-retribution dun sa Last Lord. Diba? So, sobrang crucial pa rin. Here we are, game number 3.
Alam mo, Wolf, ramdam ko pa din yung retry na yon. To be fair, I think that is a 50-50. And anyone could be able to take the Lord. I think may skill pa si Lord may stump pa na naganap. Tapos it's just that naka-ready doon yung retribution ni Haji. Timely talaga yung kanyang pagkuha.
And draft para sa game number 3. Who will make the smart choices in the draft? Catch it next. Brought to you by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of the MPL. Free to game great with Smart. Free games for all.
Alright, Wolf, we're back onto the drafting phase. Kanina, medyo mesmerized tayo na finocus doon ng Blacklist International as their first pick nga, yung Granger na we've seen na they could potentially have taken that, or are they afraid na baka kunin ng Omega like the Rafaela together with the Granger, pero they have to, pero nakita naman natin they almost had that game, 'di ba? Medyo na overstay lang sila just right after nakuha nila lahat ng mga turrets, then from there Omega played it perfectly, given dun papapunta sa my Lord.
Konting differences with what we saw in the draft kanina. Ang naban ng Omega Esports nung game number 1 was Diggy, Benedetta, Paquito. This time Benedetta, Paquito, Matilda. Katulad ng draft nila, nung bans nila ng game number 2. Samantala Blacklist International, no changes sa first ban nila, Ling pa rin. Pero yung sinunod na nila doon was not Uranus. Although eventually binan pa rin nila yung Uranus. And something na titingnan natin sa Blacklist International.
Yes.
By the way, yung Selena hindi pinapansin na.
Hindi talaga. I suppose Blacklist International would want to ban an Eve dito, or they're probably just willing to give it up. So now for the side of Omega Esports, what's gonna be their first pick? Ano yung ipaprioritize nila dito? We've seen na nag-work sa kanila yung mga Alice, di ba? I rather the Harit dito, but the Diggy! The Diggy is left open, and this is a big if, or rather what would be this Diggy? Will this be a fitting Diggy that we're used to see? Pero given kasi Omega Esports, the way they play the Diggy is really a tank support.
Yep. Diba? Pwede hindi siya yung parang feeding Diggy strategy na pwedeng nakikita natin for Blacklist International. I'm scared for Omega Esports. Yes, it's true na nakakainis talaga yung Digi. Pero yung Blacklist International, isang team na alam yung kontra dito.
Yes.
We might even see Hilda picked up para kay Eson eventually sa dulo ng match. But, eto na. The classic combo.
The classic combo. Kung kanina iniiwasan ni Wise si Rafaela. Pero right this time, ngayon, eto na yung taga nice one baby ko.
Taga nice one baby.
Oo. So, now for Omega, how would they want to counter this one? Ang naging sagot nila nung game number 1 was a Loyi. Pero pagka pumika pa dito ng Loyi, might be very tricky. Pero ang pinili nila dito, well, might as well. Ito yung nagpanalo sa kanila kanina. This Kagura and this Toshi's Alice is being very prominent sa kanyang laning during the laning stage. Parang itong dalawang team na to, no? You get the Alice, we get the Harit.
Ganun talaga yung palitan eh.
Oo.
At so far, sa past 2 games natin, kung sino yung nakakahawak ng Harith ang nananalo.
Yun nga.
So, Blacklist International now having the ingredients mukhang pwede. At sila nagba ng Yisan Shin ngayon. Oh.
Do you think Harit wins games ngayon dito sa series na to, Wolf?
Mukhang ganun na nga eh.
Oo
Especially because of the fact na meron kang way para makakuha ng early game control. Yun yung nakita natin sa Blacklist International. Ang main condition kasi from Harit is just to make it so na pumunta ka sa late game.
Yeah.
Omega Esports, lagi nilang binaban yung Barat sa second phase. Pero yung lapo-lapo, feeling ko kailangan na rin nilang i-take note. Pansinin.
Kailangan na rin nila indeed pansinin, no? Kasi we already know who's gonna be using this specific heroes, diba? That's gonna be Wise, that's gonna be Oheb. Pero for the side, medyo mesmerized pa ako dito sa Omega Esports, diba? The usual thinking of a Digi, sabihin na natin this might be a feeding Digi. You would always want to have a strong side lane.
Strong side lane.
Oo. Pero given that this kind, the Alice, hindi natin consider a strong side lane, specifically on the early game, di ba? Parang kailangan niya pa ng konting push. So, this may, kumbaga magkasama lang yung Digi na yan together with the Kagura in terms of rotation, sumasabay. Sasabay sila dito sa early snowball potential dito ni Wise on the Granger. Pero right now, Blacklist International will be banning the dito sa early snowball potential dito ni Wise.
Kasi meron ka naman taga-heal, and it also means na hindi ganun ka-effective kung feeding Digi strategy to. So Omega Esports might not even consider that kasi parang malulugi lang sila kasi may taga-heal naman Rafaela.
Saka mabagal din yung magiging ikot nila dito if they would want, baka nga farmin pa pagka ginamit nila yan as a feeding Digi strategy. Kumbaga libreng 50 gold para dito kay Wise. Pero ang gusto kong malaman dito, no, for the side of Omega Esports, what will be their jungler? So Claude did made a lot of sense kanina sa kanila, and nakikita ko din that this might actually work against dito sa draft ng Blacklist International.
Hayabusa Claude or Hayabusa Roger perhaps.
Yeah.
With a side lane, Hayabusa laban sa Thams.
Or even
ayun nga, Claude.
Claude. I was about to say na Haji, isa sa paboritong hero niya rin kasi isa Hayabusa. Pero now we're gonna be seeing Kenji once again on this Hayabusa. It didn't get to work nung first game. Pero right now, Blacklist International, they are still lacking
pwede sila
a tank or
pwede sila mag-Estes pa rin. Ay, sorry, Angela yung mga ganun healing.
Yes.
Pero I'm thinking, honestly, Hilda, kung talagang worried sila sa Digi strategy, knowing Blacklist International, something that they can consider.
But that might not be it. Yes. Well, what I'm about to say is, pag Hilda kasi, that there might come to a point na baka maging taga-provide na lang ng vision si Hilda. Hindi maging enough yung damage ni Wise. So right now, we'll be seeing Blacklist International. So, the main damage dealer coming from them is, of course, Oheb and as well, itong Granger na to. Kanina, sinubukan ng Omega Esports na i-burst down kagad si Granger, and itemization-wise, nagawan ng paraan yon ni Wise. Will that be the same dito sa game number 3?
Might see that, for sure. Lalong-lalo na ang Blacklist International, nakuha sila ng Popol and Rafaela. Nakita na natin to before. Sa kanila, sobrang taas ng tempo, ang taas ng sustain. Map control will be there. So, yung Omega Esports, this time, once again, mukhang i-concede ulit nila yung early game kasi yung Blacklist International sobrang lakas ng impact and prowess nila in the early stages. That's my opinion, but what about you, Rob?
Yeah, I would agree with you. Na kasi yung sabihin na natin late game centric lineup dito ang Omega Esports. They have this Claude, they have a good minion wave clear in the sense of course, the Alice together with kay Kenji, di ba? Most of the time we see naman yung mga Hayabusa, they just use their ultimate just the same with the Claude. So parang parehas din ang thought process, diba? Specifically on the early game we're in, doon yung power spike ng Blacklist International. So how could you be able to push if you don't have minion? And that's gonna be it para sa side ng Omega Esports.
And I don't see na ang Digi feeding strategy ay ang option dito para sa Omega. They can, pero parang hindi ganun ka-effective. Honestly, if you're thinking about yung traditional na Digi natin pang push in there. But, okay. Eto na nga.
And they are somehow proving us wrong once again. I get the point. I get the point with you saying na hindi siya mag-work. Pero ang tingin ko ang gustong gawin dito na ni Hayes, or I think that was the Digi, is just provide vision. Tapos yung side lane nila mag-work lang on its own.
And it definitely can work to think about it. Kaso ito yung problema. Ang main reason kung ba't gusto mong kumawa ng feeding Digi strategy is lahat ng lanes mo dapat ay lalamang.
Yes.
With that kill mula kay Edward sa side lanes, nako, malaking question mark yan. Titingnan natin yung gold. Blacklist International 4.5k.
So, ang strategy ngayon dito, Wolf, ng Omega is, kumbaga, eto si Hayes dito will just stick around dito sa Granger na to up at the end of time. Okay? So, ngayon, Blacklist International, since ginugulo dito si Wise, his support dito si Eson will just have to stick around together with Oh My Vitus. Now, it's all about the side lanes ng Omega. Ang bilis ng minion wave clear both, at ang ginawa ngayon dito, nag-switch pa sila, si Toshi at si Kenji.
The bigger problem here is si Wise ay isang Granger. Hindi niya kailangan ng mana. Hindi niya rin kailangang umuwi kasi may Rafaela naman siya. So, hindi magiging effective ang Digi strat.
Hindi ganun ka-effective kasi HP lang no? And given that nandito rin naman yung taga-provide, nandito yung kanilang mga healing galing coming from Eson. And not only that, you would want na magkakaroon ka ng feeding Digi strategy and magkakaroon ng space yung jungler nyo. But HGC is not getting the farm that he needs.
Blacklist International fully prepared for this. Kinuha na kayong Turtle sa ngayon at nakakuha na naman ng additional na kill. This time, ginamit pa nila si Edward para lang talaga siguradong sigurado. At dahil dyan, lumaki na ang lapang ng Blacklist International sa mga feeding Digi strats. By 5-minute mark, dapat nakikita mo na yung difference. But Blacklist International, 2.5k doon sa Granger. Tignan mo yung jungler ng Omega. 1k lang.
Ang galing din ng ng disguise ng Digi rito ng side ng Omega Esports. Regardless doon pa lang sa emblem na naka-pull yourself together siya. Usually kasi you would see yung mga feeding strategy naka-magic sila or naka-mage emblem. So, well, it's still medyo overcommitting si Oheb dito.
Oh no, hindi tumama yung Art of Thievery. The GC inabot dito si Oheb. Still gets the kill. Kaso, Torre, yun nakakuha ng kill, which means na hindi na credit sa kills.
Ang galing ng thinking doon ni Oheb na that push forward regardless mamatay ako as long as HGC doesn't get the kill.
Saktong-sakto, pixel perfect. Kaso yun lang.
Speaking of sakto, that flame shot. Sumama doon kay Eson.
Na-scout din kasi ni Hayes
Yes. Pero isipin mo, this is quite a lead coming from Blacklist International, almost 2,000. But ang good news lang for the side of Omega is hindi naman sila na-force out na mabasagan kagad compared to game number 2. Nabasag agad yung kanilang top lane.
Nakikita natin ngayon na si Oheb ay maganda yung start versus Kenji. And that's good si Kenji kasi 0-2 on this Hayabusa. Mahihirapan yata makarecover dito ang side ng Omega Esports. And alam mo, yung Blacklist International, ang tataas na ng KDA nila before this. Tapos makakakuha pa sila ng ganito. Man, 16-0 na si Wise. I'm sure after this week, ang taas na stat line.
For sure. Ang ginagawa lang dito ng Omega, parang pag-hold down ng Blazing Duet, mag-clear tayo dito. Tapos sa top lane, ganun din. Even with that, kumbaga yung tatlong lanes nila dito, talagang literal nagpa-turtle lang sila, hinuhold lang nila. Talagang pino-force out dito ng Omega na makapabot sila ng late game.
Exactly. do take note with the changes. We'll talk about later. Turtle makukuha dito ng Blacklist na secure ni Tams. Wise nga lang, hahabulin sa may likuran. Kaso si Toshi, may flicker. Ginamit na rin yung Flowy Blood. Gets the kill. Magandang shutdown. At makikita natin dito ang time journey na ginamit. Ang dami si Toshi. Oh, may Venus with the knock-up nga lang. Ng kontra, si Hayes mapapatumba. Pero feeding-digi lang yan. Hahabulin pa ba nila Eson? They do have the slow. Kaso may Flowing Blood na naman si Toshi. Ginamit agad. Hinabol ni Tams. Kinagat na nga ni Edward. Another kill. Going in favor of Blacklist.
But I think, umabot, that's a good trade pa rin eh. Kung iisipin mo, Wolf eh, that is a shutdown on a godlike streak.
Exactly.
Ni Wise. And ang nakakuha pa nun is yung Alice. That's one of the reasons kung bakit din siya nakasustain kasi nabuo niya agad yung item niya doon.
Yeah.
Now, Blade of the Heptasy is already done ngayon dito kay Kenji. 5 minutes in, wala nang energy shield. Blacklist International needs to force na makabasag dito ng mga outer turrets against Omega Esports.
But Kenji will be taken out. Edward naman, napakamit ang ultimate niya sa top lane. Hinabol si Hadjizi. Gandang BMI ni Claude. Kinrossoveran. Kaso na doon si Eson ni right tap. Normal attack. Normalan lang lahat para kay Eson.
Hindi pa nag-trigger yung Cyclone Eye doon eh. Makakadulas pa sana siya doon, but the Light of Retribution will seal the deal dito para kay Hadjizi. So far dito, Blacklist International, sila pa din ang nagmamando. We've seen this time and time again that they are very precise dito sa mga early to going into mid-game. Kaso ang strategy ng Omega, we all know no? Na they would like to work it on the late game. The question is, Wolf, paano nila to itutuloy to? We're still 6 minutes in. Pero makikita natin na medyo nahihirapan na sila dito, Wolf.
Yeah. One thing that they can do is abuse yung shutdown gold gear na nabago na. Mas mataas na yung cap ng shutdown gold. At based kasi siya doon sa kills eh. Yung kill streak. Hindi siya about doon sa gold difference. So yung rubber band mechanic, pwede nating makita yan sa side ng Omega Esports. Kaso ito yung sa Blacklist.
Tsaka ang gusto ko dito, yung itemization ni Toshi dito, he didn't go for the Calamity Reaper, instead Enchanted Talisman. So meaning, gusto lang talagang i-sustain, and given that the Kagura also made a Clap of Destiny, so talagang tinadrag nila to, itong laro na to against Blacklist International.
Just like in game number 2, luging-lugi ang Omega. Well, 10 times or 3 times na mas lugi sila dito sa game na to sa early stages, pero hindi natin alam, pwede pa itong mabaligtad.
Yes, and yung nga na-mention mo to kanina, no, na yung mga streak. I mean, look at the score. This is 3 out of 30. It's like what? That was like 10% of the kills dito ng Blacklist International. Pero once na ma-shut down, most specifically dito si Wise, somehow you get the gold from there. That's one of the reason bakit medyo nakakakuha pa rin ng farm dito ang side ng Omega. So, kailangan tuloy-tuloy yung aggression na gawin dito ng Blacklist.
Hadjizi, nakagat na nga ni Oh My Venus, placing do to not save with the first step. Ngayon nga lang, Curtisi may kontra, yun yung overturn. Kaso, makaagat lang din ni Edward with the stamps. Ngayon si Wise naghahabol, naghahanap pa ng additional kills. And Hadjizi, that's the second death na pala for this Claude. Blacklist International, magsusnowball, magde-deathball dito sa may gitna. Anong pang depensa ng Omega Esports? Toshi, malayong-malayo pa. Sobrang bilis ang pag-take ng Torre ng Blacklist International. Zaman Force, patay na rin yung damage ni Granger at ni Edward. Walang nagawa ang Omega Esports.
This is what they need to do talaga, Wolf. Kailangan nilang i-force tong mga team fights na to kasi hindi nila hihintayin na lumakas pa dito yung tatlong members ng Omega, yung Alice na yan, yung sila Hadjizi with the Claude and as well with the Hayabusa. That base turret on the mid lane, ang laking bagay noon for the side of Blacklist given na malapit na ring mag-respawn ang unang Lord.
Ang laki ng lamang ng Blacklist International. Si Hayes, tinatry pa rin pigilan si Wise. Napataas nila ang KDA na naman ni Wise, 26, 1, and 3. Doesn't matter. Hadjizi placing to wet against Edward. Edward tumalon. Meron ba siyang ultimate na gagamitin? Hindi na kailangan. Makunat na nga dito si Edward. Eventually ay mapapatay. But that will be our third kill. Kaso si Curtisi, makukuha ng kill ni Oheb and another turtle going in favor of Blacklist. Mukhang pang apat na turtle ito going in favor of Blacklist. Nothing Hayes can do about this.
Yes, pero yung bottom lane dito, well, will be taken na. So, ngayon, titignan naman natin dito yung mga itemization dito. That Alice already has the key component that he needs on teamfight. Meron na siyang Winter Truncheon and good news for Hadjizi, meron na siyang DHS. Meanwhile naman dito, sa side ng Blacklist International, ito na yung binibuild na ni Wise yung kanyang medyo kunat factor. Meron siyang Athena Shield pero he will still go for the endless battle dito.
Gonna be tricky para sa Omega. Do take note, halos doble ng gold ni GZ si Wise. Almost. At least 4,000 ang lamang ni Wise doon kay GZ. At hindi maganda yan kasi dalawang item halos yun. Ngayon si Hayes na naman mabibigyan. Feeding Diggy. It's natural. Top lane nga lang yun, outplay na naman. 2 versus 1 kay Edward. At mo si Edward pa yung mananalo. At makuha pa na yung kill. Oh my goodness. Blacklist International sa baba naman. Bottom lane. Mananalo Blacklist and all of a sudden sa isang iglap. Blacklist International mananalo ng series na to.
Oh wow. That was very quick, Wolf. And right at this moment, hindi pa rin or wala pa rin makadikod sa Blacklist International.
And look at that celebration. As outside the Blacklist International, this winning moment is brought to you by Master. Hindi sila na GG. Instead, they brought their clay game with Master. Sikreto ng mga gwapo.
Oh wow, that was perfectly executed, Wolf. Kung iisipin mo, alam ng Blacklist din na pag na-drag natin to into late game, sasabay sa atin ang Omega Esports. Then might as well force every team fight. Kunin natin yung mga turrets nila dito. And kumbaga, wag tayong mag-react. Nagpupush sila sa top lane, so be it. Then take the bottom lane. And from there, nung napilitan na rin mag-react yung mga members ng Omega from the top lane, isa-isa silang na-pick off, and that's how Blacklist International take the win against Omega Esports.
It's safe to say na sa feeding Diggy strategy, kailangan solid yung side lanes mo, but the better side lane duo came from side of Blacklist International. Oheb and Edward, phenomenal with their side lane play. Na-outplay na maraming beses side ng Blacklist International. Pero bakit hindi natin tanungin ang ating analyst, break down that game for us, Midnight?
Alam nyo, maganda naman yung idea ng Omega Esports, no? Ibato mo kung ano yung binato ng Blacklist International from their past games. Pero ang problema kasi, matagal nang dinicode ng Blacklist International yung sarili nilang strategy. And that was what, the story was for game number 3. Once again, welcome back to the Analyst Stand. My name is Midnight, and we break down natin kung bakit naging ganito yung output or outcome for Blacklist International and Omega Esports. Of course, tingnan muna natin yung post-game stats na hatid sa atin ng Smart, the official tournament telco partner of MPL. Free to game great with Smart, free games for all. Yan, makikita natin ang taas ng kill score ni Wise. That's to be expected kasi naka-Digi feed ang Omega Esports. Pero, the difference is, hindi naging effective yung Digi feed ng Omega Esports. One reason why it didn't work out is because Wise, hindi siya nag-jungle dito. As in, yung buong stay niya sa mid lane, he never touched the jungle creeps on their side. Sabi niya, bahala ka dyan, Hayes, papatayin ka namin. Naka-Rafaela naman kami. Meron akong sustain and I have enough damage to take the Digi down. Literal na walang pake sa jungle si Wise dito. Sabi niya, yung minion waves na lang sa mid lane, yung aking pa-farmin. And kapag kumpleto na yung pambili ko ng Raptor Blade, yung level 2 variant ng Raptor Machete, saka ako pupunta ng aking jungle. Actually, mamaya makikita niyo sa highlights kung ano yung klase ng laro na ginawa ni Wise. Pero one tip that you can do actually against Digi is wag mo munang bibilin yung jungle item. Kasi you can stay in the mid lane, lalo na may sustain ka from the Rafaela. Pagdating mo ng level 3, yung Raptor Blade, mabibili mo na, and isang first kill na lang si Digi, then, tsaka ka pwede makapag-adjust. And yun siguro yung hindi in-expect ng Omega Esports na alam ng Blacklist International kung paano laruin yung Digi feed na iba pa doon sa kanila. Once again, guys, these stats are brought to us by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of MPL. Free to game great with Smart, free games for all. Bago natin tignan yung mga nangyari o yung mga key moments on that specific game, check nyo muna to. Sa inyong mga screen, makikita nyo yung QR code, no? Scan nyo na yan or punta kayo dito sa website natin, fill up nyo yung form at may chance kayo manalo ng skin worth of 599 diamonds. The first 30,000 na entries ay mananalo ng skin na again worth 599 diamonds. So bilisan nyo na, guys, hanggat nandito yung form, hanggat nandito yung website, scan nyo na yung QR code at bilisan nyo na magpunta na kayo sa website para mag-fill up nito. Okay? So, tignan ang ating mga moments dito sa ating game. Of course, these are the game highlights brought to us by Smart, the official tournament telco partner of MPL. Free to game great with Smart, free games for all. Again, guys, hindi natin nakita na nag-jungle literal si Wise. Dumating lang tayo sa point na nag-jungle na siya nung kumpleto na yung Raptor Machete and it's time to move around the map. After that, there was a huge 4,000 gold lead on the side of Blacklist International. But of course, hindi naman magpapabaya ang Omega Esports no. Nandun pa rin naman yung playmaking capabilities nila Toshi. It was able to take down Wise on this Granger. 17-1-1 yung KDA ni Wise at that point. So, he was amounting to a huge value, no? Napakataas ng net worth na mabibigay sa Omega kapag napatay si Wise. But that didn't stop there. Sabi ng Blacklist International, okay guys, reset tayo. And again, ang ganda ng ginagawa ni Edward. Always flickering into the backline. As long as Venus, no, tuwing nakikita nila si Haji, willing talaga sila i-commit yung flicker just to reach the backline. Wala pa rin naman masyadong punisher on the side of Omega Esports kasi late game pa lalabas yung kanilang firepower, no? This is a Kagura, this is an Alice, it's Claude. Si Hayabusa, sige, fine, meron siyang mid-game damage, pero the thing is, the team fight will always be on the side or in favor of Blacklist International. So literal, walang takot yung Blacklist pagdating sa ganitong engagements. And makikita natin, no, itong push na may bottom lane. Actually, if you look at the upper left part of your screen, makikita mo na dinedelay ni Edward si Haji dito sa part ng mapa natin. Napatay pa niya actually both the Hayabusa and the Claude. Mag-isa si Edward sa top lane na yun. Sabi niya, guys, tapusin nyo yung game. Ako na bahala dito sa dalawa. Hindi ko na sila papauwiin. And hindi na nga tayo mabot sa late game na hinahanap ng Omega Esports as it was an easy and clean victory here for the side of Blacklist International. And the MVP of our game, again, hatid sa atin ng Smart, the official tournament telco partner of MPL. Break through your own limits, rise above, and be free to game great with Smart. Free games for all. The squad led by the Queen, Oh My Venus, KDA of 2,111, damage dealt of 23,521. Dagdag na rin natin dyan yung objective damage na 5,573, damage taken of 15,638, and kill participation of 29%. Ang nakakaanoy kasi sa presence ni Popalin Kupa in this game is the ability to control the heroes and at the same time poke damage on the side of Omega Esports. And yan lalo yung nagpahirap, no? Yung compose na ngayon laro ng Blacklist International, pinatong pa natin yung playstyle ni Venus on Popol and Gupa just made the life of Blacklist International much easier as they take game number 3 against Omega Esports. Napakaganda and napaka-exciting ang ating mga games, pero meron pa tayong isa, no? So guys, huwag kaya alis at ipapatanong kayo sa ating mga casters.
Maraming salamat, Midnight, on that breakdown on the analysis of the match. Nakita naman natin halos lahat ng anggulo. Pero ang tanong ko ngayon, Rob, anong solution? How do you break the code?
Oh, maraming teams, marami talaga na nagtatanong, paano ba? This is almost a perfect run talaga for Blacklist International on Season 7 ng ating MPL. Pero commendable talaga yung tamos doon ni Edward. Yung pag-outplay niya with two members of Omega, one of the reason bakit natapos din agad-agad yung laro na yun. Yung barats niya no last week, ngayon, naging permanent ban ng Omega. Ngayon, yung tamos na ngayon. So, to answer your question, sobrang hirap dahil ang dami mong kailangang isipin para dito sa team na to.
Yet, wala pang nakaka-break ng code ng Blacklist International. Omega Esports now back to the drawing board. And that has been your match number 2. May isa pa tayong match, but we're reminded that MPL Philippines Season 7 is presented by Smart, the official tournament co-partner of the MPL. Free to game great with Smart. Free games for all. Nakita na natin ang bakbakan ng Omega, pati na rin ng Blacklist. We still have one match remaining. At magbabalik, tingnan ko gani star match natin eh. Kumbaga, the champions and the contenders. We'll see that later for sure. For now, we'll see you after this break.